Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft and its Rebuild DLC for what is live stream number 55 as we continue our journey through the game and its DLC. Good morning, hope your week is going well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from Tuesday's stream, where we actually finished the first DLC map, which was Contamination. Today, we begin the second and final DLC map, which is Washout. I think that's what it's called. I will need to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Firstly, massive thank you to you guys who have watched the 5-year anniversary channel update video. It's always a tough one to record. I think I hid quite a bit of emotion, to be fair, from the actual video. I watched it back and was like, yeah, you can't tell. It's all good. But yeah, massive thank you to you guys that watched it. Much appreciated. It's one of those. It's always a weird time of year this time of year because of obviously what happened. And I always try. I didn't want to focus on the injuries. You know, it's 5 years later. The injuries are still there, but it's kind of less important when it comes to the channel now. It's more about the channel itself and you guys more than anything else. And I think that was the right decision, to be fair. But yeah, I just wanted to say a massive thank you guys for watching the video. Much appreciated. YouTube have changed the settings for streaming via YouTube, and it's all completely different to how it normally is. So bear with me a second, because I can't see what I normally see. It's all a bit weird. I think that's okay. Yeah, I think the main important thing is that. So I'm trying to see what I need to see on there, as it's all completely different to normal, which is really weird. I don't know why they would have changed it. But yeah, LVs, good morning. How are you? Hope you're well. The main thing I want to see is the likes more than anything else, just so I can say thank you and if people do like the stream. But yeah, they've made it harder to see what I normally see when I stream, weirdly. I think YouTube have also changed their settings when it comes to adverts, because normally when you watch YouTube videos, you get maybe 1 or 2 adverts before a video. I'm not seeing 3, it's saying, which is definitely new. I know they're trying to make it so creators earn more money. With some of their options, like putting adverts in the middle of a stream, which I completely disagree with. That's why I turned it off. But there are some things that are going to turn off viewers, and the amount of ads people watch will turn people off. I don't get what they're doing. But there we go. It's not my business, is it? It's YouTube's at the end of the day. Okay, one more thing to do, and then we can crack on. So today we're starting the second of the 2 DLC maps in RoadCraft's Rebuild DLC. So we're going to begin a Washout after we finished Contamination in the previous stream, which was Tuesday. It was a decent ending, to be fair, to that first one. I really liked that map and how it finished off, to be fair. The other thing to talk about quickly is the Timber DLC that came. So the Timber DLC came out, I want to say last week. We'd finished streaming, I think it was, and then I saw it was out. Now, the developers have suddenly taken the DLC back away from everyone. That's why it wasn't showing up in Tuesday's stream. They've taken it away because of a game save-breaking bug, from what I can find, to do with tree stumps and logs and things. That will destroy your save. So the vehicles that aren't in the game, not for any fault of their own, it's the fact they've taken them away. There'll be a patch at some point in the near future, hopefully, and the vehicles will be re-added when that happens. So if you can't find the new vehicles yourself, that is why. Washout, brand new map. Obviously, we haven't started this yet. We finished the last stream, and this is what we're on to today. So we don't know what's here, what we're going to do, what the surface is going to be like. Let's have a little read of the map details, and hopefully that'll give us some clues to what we're going to deal with. So after a recent incident at the dam, a large part of the water reached a nearby swamp where multiple drilling sites are located. With the already difficult task of setting up rigs in a swamp now complicated by the rising water level, the workers were evacuated. While most of their equipment is left behind, your job is to recover the most sensitive gear and contain the flooding of the construction sites. It's going to be a lot of water then, isn't it? Lots and lots of water. Right, we need to pick a scout vehicle to use. I don't know which one I want to use first, to be fair. Obviously, we want something that's good in water, would be my first thinking. Because it's going to be very... Do you know what, let's use the Carillion. I think that's going to be good in most conditions, isn't it? Let's use the Carillion as we start off on this map and see how we go. But yeah, I can't see what I normally see on stream anymore. Via YouTube's video, not video, but YouTube screen that you use to analyse your stream. Normally I can see everything I need to see, and I've got to choose between one analytic or the other analytic, and I'd like to see likes, just don't say thank you. But I can't see it as easily, it seems. But it's there. Right, this is the map Washout. So heavily forested by the looks of things. Lots of trees. And they're the areas that look like they've been flooded. There's a timber mill by the looks of things there. And this is us in the Carillion at the very start of the map. Annoyingly, there's obviously no Kelly, so we weren't going to get anything from her to tell us anything, which is a little bit frustrating. Okay, can I actually get the map open? That'd be handy, wouldn't it? So where are we heading? We're heading north to start with from the Riverside Tunnel that we're starting at. So we can either head off-road here, which kind of comes to well, it comes down here to be fair. There is something down here by the looks of things. I think we follow the main road for the time being to see how far we go. I'd say the disappointing thing is there's no Kelly to explain anything, which is always frustrating, I find. Whoa. Look how sensitive this was to turning. So how are you this morning then, LVs? Hope you're well. Right, this is coned off, and we can tell there's a big hole in the bridge. So I don't think we're heading that way, since the bridge has a hole in it. Off to a good start, eh? Okay, so we're going to have to go off-road, which is to be expected, to be fair. We go down the dirt road over here. I always try and follow the roads to start with. Or tracks, dirt tracks or normal tracks. I always try and follow them to start with because obviously they all must lead somewhere. Okay. I'm guessing we've got to cross the river here. And it does look like it's low enough to cross. Obviously, the downside to Carillion is yes, it's good in mud and stuff like that. It's not so good when it comes to water. That's the only downside to this. We need to head left here and go across this rocky area by the looks of things. But yeah, it's good in mud, not so good with the water. Because it's lower, it does have some issues when it comes to it. So this isn't the best scout vehicle to be using, I don't think. I kind of use it because I thought mud more so than drowning. In fact, I don't know if I can get around this without drowning this. I think I want to drown this if I try and get through there. That's interesting. Full beans and hope for the best. There we go. Full beans and hope for the best seem to work. Definitely the wrong choice of vehicle with a water crossing, but obviously we didn't know about the water crossing. I got myself stuck. Right. Yeah, this definitely may have been the wrong choice of scout vehicle for this start point. Based on how this is going so far. If we stick to where the leaves are, potentially that's the shallowest part, I would say. We can do a scan, but it doesn't normally show anything up in water. There you go, it doesn't show anything. We're drowning again. Yeah, not ideal this. Should have used the Malamute or something like that maybe. I thought mud, so thought this would be the best to use in mud because of the tracks. Obviously that was a wrong decision by the looks of things. Although we've made it, it's just not been without issue. And the rain is coming down, which isn't helping things. Bear with me a second. That should be my little boy, hopefully saying he's at school. Got to school earlier, but forgot to text me. Okay. We're across the river at least. At least we're across. You can see that the water level rising has done a lot of damage around here, it looks like. There is a track going up here as well, which hopefully will take us roughly to where we're going. But yeah, maybe a wrong choice of scout vehicle to start there for the water crossing, but Brilliant's made it. That's the main thing. Right, we'll follow this track and see how we go with it, where it leads us to. I think we will need to fix that bridge at some point, right at the early start. Ah, back to the main road now. Okay, so this road leads in different directions. I'm assuming that way leads to the bridge. And if we go straight, there is another bridge here. Is it usable though, is the question. There's some steep hills by the looks of things here as well, which is very different. The bridge is usable, so that's something at the very least. Whoa, that's a bit of a jump there. Ah, so this is the Highlanders. We're using it as an operating base, so high up, so we stay out of the water kind of thing. Risk of flooding to us is minimal, and we're here. Objective complete. Right, area revealed. We'll let everything catch up and then we'll have a look at what we've got to do next. But yeah, it's weird not having the same screen I normally have when watching the stream via YouTube and all that stuff. Let's have a look. Is that everything? I think it's everything. I wish Kelly was here, I so do. It'd be a lot better. We've got a personal transport vehicle to use in a minute. I did see the mission for that pop up. So we've got two main missions. Clear the way across the dam. So we need to clear this area of objects, and then we need to build a road. Wow, the road's up there. Okay. Why is the dam in one position and the road miles away from that, is what it seemed. There's the dam there. And the road we need to build is further north, I think. Yeah, well, okay. How does that have anything to do with the other mission? With the same mission, makes no sense. Drive the crew to the steel mill. So there's a vehicle here, which has got a work crew in, and we need to drive them up to there, without knowing the conditions. Plus, it wants us to build a road there. It kind of tells us that's probably not going to be the easiest journey to make. We'll have a proper read of the missions when we start them. Side missions: remove the wreckage from the river. So there's a wreckage in this river here, and that we need to remove. Oh, it's a pier. So the flooding washed away a pier, leaving wreckage from the boat and a tower. Okay, so that's something that needs to happen. It's the fact we're going to need a road so early. What does the quarry need to get running? So we can't actually activate the quarry yet as of yet, because we don't have the tokens to do so. Is that the only place to get sand from? It doesn't look like it is. Oh wow, so that road can't be done anytime soon, can it? If we can't access sand, we can't do the road. That doesn't give us any way of doing it. That does give us tokens. Okay, it looks like we're driving the crew to the steel mill then, although we know there's a road need building. Because that gives us the tokens to activate the sand quarries that we need to activate to better make the road. So I think we're doing this first. Okay, so drive the crew to the steel mill. Let's have a look at this mission. This may not go very well, we'll see. If we get stuck halfway, we'll have to change. We'll provide you with special machinery you can use to build new roads whenever you need to. However, building deployable bridges requires resources, steel beams to be exact. Fortunately, there's a steel mill located in the eastern part of the region. Drive the crew there and we'll get started on the repairs. And the rewards, 1,300 experience, which doesn't matter, we're max level, but 10 tokens. And the tokens are needed by looks of things to open up other parts. Obviously, this bridge, we've got to remove all the debris. The dam near the Highland base critical to operation and recovery of local logistics. Fortunately, the flooding caused numerous backups and accidents, leaving it completely blocked by abandoned cars. Handled worse situations, clear the way and get things moving again. Yeah, I think we're going to have to try and drive these people. It may not work and we may get stuck, and if so, we're going to have to try and find something else. But the issue being, if it wants a road there, there's a reason it wants a road there. But we'll try this and see what happens. We'll try and drive the crew to the steel mill. This is a Nota Allegra personal transport. As I say, I don't know how well this is going to go. We obviously still don't know the map very much just yet. In fact, let's have a quick look at what's been opened up. So, our base of operations here. There's a logistics terminal over here. And is that about it? Sand quarry, which we can't access yet. Oil pump, sand quarry, the old street tunnel. And then we know there's now steel mill up here. It's this road that concerns me. I don't know how well this thing will do off-road. It looks like the suspension's raised, which may be helpful, it might not. Let's see what we're dealing with. Obviously, it wants us to build a road, which tells me it's not going to be very good terrain. But we shall see. This thing is very slow as well. So this is where it wants us to build a road just here. Okay, I can see why it wants us to build a road. Can we get through that in this? I don't know how well this will do with mud. And I don't know if there's another way. This kind of leads us straight to where we're going. I think we should... I'm going to have to risk it, aren't we? Just don't know how well this deals off-road. I suppose only one way to find out. You can see the damage the flooding has caused, though. Oh, okay, that drops down significantly. The issue we have is I cannot build the road until we can activate quarries. And if we can't activate a quarry until we get tokens, this needs to be done first. The only thing we can do is send a scout vehicle to come and tow it. That's the only thing we can do if we do get really stuck. And I think looking at this, we may need to. Because this is just digging in now. Just took low range on to see if that helps. Yeah, this is horrendous. As I say, the problem we've got is we need the tokens to activate the sand. Either that, or we send our equipment to the sand area to then do it ourselves. There's always that possibility. Don't fall over. That's the main concern here. I'm trying to just get this so it can go up the hill. Need to be off the mud if we can, though. There's a big old rock here that's not going to help us. Take off low range, so that might help, it might not. I think we're going to be stuck in the mud now. Yeah, I think we've well and truly got ourselves stuck. There's a bit of movement there. This is not going to be a fun road to build then, is it? I really thought maybe we could just get through it as we need the tokens for the sand, but it's not going to happen. Okay, so because of that we need to... Well, they're saying that to actually get across to here with our vehicles, we need to put a bridge in place. As we need to put a bridge here. And then even then, there is a dirt track to follow to get up there. Oh wow, okay. Some of the connections that we can see so far, roadways, are not simple. That's definitely stuck. Potentially we could get a scout vehicle and tow it out, but even then I think that's not going to be an easy journey to make across there. We need the road. But to get the road, we need the sandpit. But to get the sandpit, we need the tokens. See the problem we're having here? So, we're going to need to put in our own vehicle there to get sand. Actually, no, there's a sand pit here. It's given us sand here. Okay. I didn't think we could do the sand, but we can. Okay. That changes things ever so slightly. So we can build the road because there is an active sand pit here. I didn't see that originally. But the first thing we've got to deal with here is a road. So we need a bridge from our base operations to here. Currently, we can't make any bridges. So we need a bridging vehicle that we have. I think we're going to need to use that to get across here first and foremost. So let's grab that out of our garage firstly. We need our big bridge crossing machine. It does hint that, to be fair, in the actual crossing over. It does hint that you need to lay bridges. Where are you? But I didn't see the fact that we actually had the ability to... Is that the small or the big? That is the 6 meter. Yeah, I didn't spot that there's actually a sand quarry active there either until just now. We've got 2 Vostoks. These are 12 meter. Now, I'm assuming this is big enough. Until we're there, we don't know. That's... Hang on, where's the bridge? This vehicle doesn't have a bridge. Look, it's not there. How does that work? Purchase new bridge, 3 steel beams. That's telling us we need to purchase the bridge. I've not seen that before. Okay. That's interesting. What about the other one? I'm just going to move this forward so it's out of the way. Do I need to go back to the previous map to pull the bridges up, maybe? That may be the case. You may need to go back to the previous map to pull the bridges up before we can actually use these. Does this have a bridge attached? No, neither vehicle has a bridge attached. Right, I think, and this is a guess, we need to go back to our previous map and pull the bridges up. By the looks of things, I can't see another reason. What I didn't realise, you can buy extra bridges for these vehicles. I didn't realise that. So we need to retain that one and retain that one. And then we need to come out of this and go back to the other map. This may not work, but it's saying we can't get across to where we need to build a road without a bridge, and we need a bridge. We can't build wooden bridges by the looks of it either. We can't, no bridges so far. So what I'm going to do is go and pick up one of the bridges from contamination, so the vehicle has it back on, and then we'll go back into the new map and just see if that affects things. If it gives one of them the bridge back, we'll do that. I didn't realise that was a thing though, to be fair. It makes sense. You know, you pull the vehicle from one map to another, it makes sense that the bridge is missing if it's still on the map. But I didn't even realise you could buy new bridges, to be fair, to put on top of them. With 3 steel beams. I'd never seen that before. Not that we'd needed to see it, that's the other thing. But yeah, we'll jump into one of the bridge vehicles, pick up the bridge that's on the map currently, and just see what happens. Hopefully it solves their problem. But yeah, that's definitely a new issue. Okay. Vehicles, we need a bridge vehicle. Where are you? Bridge layer. The Vostok, I think that's the right one. Yes. Right, we're going to go and see. This doesn't give us the option to buy a new bridge. I wonder if it's because it's on the same map, it doesn't need to. Maybe. Okay. So let's toggle anchors. I'm probably too close, to be fair. I'm not entirely sure how we picked this up. We've not really had to pick bridges up very much since putting them in place. My thinking is this needs to slot underneath, I think. Attach. There we go. What I'm going to do is call this back to the garage as well, just to see. Right, so that's now on board. And if we now recover this to, it doesn't matter which one, coastal base will do. And then we're going to put it back into the garage. Move it forward, so it's not inside the vehicle. So inside the garage, we should be able to now, oh, that's the wrong vehicle. Garage. Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing. It makes sense, to be fair, that if you put a vehicle, it's going to be a thing, isn't it? I want to retain both. Okay, so the first one is the right one. I needed to make sure I was retaining the right one, otherwise the other one's going to be miles away from it, the bridge where it's near that. If we need it to pick it up, we need to be near it. So this one here, we're going to retain it. And then we're going to come out of this and go back to the map we're now starting today, and hoping that now the bridging vehicle will have its bridge on top. We don't need to buy a new one, because we don't have any steel beams to buy a new bridge, so that presents a problem. And the fact we can't actually make any bridges yet. Normally you can make wooden bridges. Can't even make those. Interestingly. Either that, or we've got to find something to bridge the gap potentially. But we'll see how this goes. If this doesn't work, we've got to find something else to bridge that gap, because we've got to get vehicles over there to build the road, to get the people to the destination, to get steel beams up and running. We shall see. I wasn't expecting to have to go back to contamination straight away just to get a vehicle. And the other, do you know what I didn't even think about? We could just buy a new vehicle, because we've got plenty of money. We could just buy a new bridging vehicle, and that would give us a bridge. I'm guessing it would give us a bridge, though, to be fair. We don't know if it will or not. I'm guessing it will. Right, bridging vehicle. Right. That one. Deploy. There we go. It comes with a bridge. So the other bridging vehicle we have to go back to the other map to actually unlock it, to pick its own bridge up. Right, we need to come round here, and then hopefully we can make this gap. Again, we don't know if we can. We are hoping we can. We don't actually know. So if we take a right here, again, we don't know this map just yet. We started it fresh today, but we still need to learn directions and where things are. But yeah, this is the biggest bridge we have, so it's 12 metre. So whether we can bridge that gap, because then we need to start sending vehicles across to make this road. We probably will still need a scout to pull the other transport out of the mud at some point, but once the road's there, make life a bit easier. We're just hoping we can bridge the gap. It's always the start of a new map that's always difficult, because you've got to learn where things are, but on top of that, your infrastructure isn't in place yet. That comes later. Okay, I think this will reach. I think it might be close, but I think it will reach. Right, if we stop there, anchors, and then bridge. We need this to reach. I think it will. It does. Okay, perfect, that reaches. Our bridge is in place. So now we know we need to go back in contamination if we want to use the other bridge layer. As I say, I didn't realise that was a thing till just now. Okay. So, we're going to change our mission to this bit, and we need to build this road. That's the important part to start with, is the road, because we can't do anything with the transport until we get this road here. Now, what I did notice here, and something we need to be aware of, is a lot of debris where the road needs to go. There's a crashed car, lots of these. We are going to need to clear some of that. Normally, I get the AI to drive the sand. I don't know if we can this time, because all these rocks and stuff need moving. We may have to build half the road, stop, just so we can get this cleared. Potentially, because there's an abandoned vehicle there and everything. So I'm not too sure how that's going to go. But let's start with getting our sand across. And even that's not going to be a simple task, because we need to get across here. And it's not going to be easy. I think we need to have a bridge vehicle. We can take the off-road path here, but I don't know how easy it's going to be with some of our vehicles. So I wonder if we're better off getting a 12-metre bridge vehicle again, just going across there. I'm assuming 12 metre will reach. That reaches there. I think we're maybe better off bridging that, to be fair. I am, instead of actually going back to the other map to get another bridge vehicle, I'm going to buy one. Just to save us the time of going back across the other map. So that's the 12 metre. We do own two, but one is out on the map currently. So we're going to buy another one. 82,000 this costs. We haven't got plenty of money, so it's not the worst thing. So we bought another bridge vehicle. We'll now deploy that. If we need a third, we'll have to go back to contamination, just so we can then go and get the other one out and about. So this should be our new one. Yes. So this one needs to drive across that bridge, and then we're going to bridge another gap as well, so we can get our vehicles across to the road. The view inside is quite cool, but I do need to be able to see when we're going a bit easier. I was not expecting to have to use bridging vehicles immediately, although it does tell us a little bit about how to use them. It does say that we still need steel beams though as well. So we can actually get more than one bridge on these vehicles if you've got steel beams to buy them, which I hadn't seen before as an option. And on the previous map, the contamination, it's not an option, it seems. Or unless it's only an option if the bridge isn't on this map currently, maybe. That's a good point. Let's just have a quick check on something. As we, this is different. We've not had this before. Okay, so the bridge layer here that we've already deployed the bridge for, you can't buy it a new bridge. So it's only if the bridge is on a different map, it seems, then you can buy a new bridge to use. So if you don't want to go back and pick up the bridge you put down on a previous map, you can just buy a new bridge to go on top via using steel beams. So at least we know that's a thing. Okay. So round this corner on the right hand side should be a big hole. And we're looking to put a bridge over so we can get vehicles across. So in fact it's not right, it's dead ahead here. So this is the gap I was thinking of covering. It's still be tricky to get some vehicles over where we need to go here, I think. Okay, can we cover the gap? If we can't, and we're wasting money buying a third bridge unit, rather than go back to contamination and pick the other bridge up, then we have wasted 80 grand. Although 80 something. I think we only get 70 back if we sell the vehicle. I think that'll reach. It wants me to detach it first though, I think. Oh, no it doesn't. Okay. Can I reattach? I might need to go back up a little bit to reattach. There we go, we can attach now. I need to drive forward a little bit. It will reach, but just a little bit too far away. Right down. There we go. Right, the bridge is in place. I'm hoping that will now make our life a little bit easier. We shall see. This can go just over here for a minute. It's unusual not even to be able to build wooden bridges immediately, to be fair. Normally we can just build wood bridges immediately and it solves a lot of our issues, but no bridges. So, first and foremost, we need to get our dumper truck across so we can do the sanding side of things. I still think we're going to need cranes over there as well. As I say, I normally let the AI put the sand down. I don't think we can on this one. I think we do need to do it ourselves because we're going to need to keep stopping to move stuff out the way, it seems. So we need the bay cow, the heavy dumper. I'm just thinking about this. Do we want that or do we want a different dumper? The reason for saying that is that mud area where we're laying the road is really bad terrain. I'm wondering whether actually that's the wrong decision to use that one. I'm thinking the Aramatsu bowhead. Because it's on tracks, it probably is the better vehicle to use. I just don't know how that other dumper truck will do on that mud, because that mud looks really bad. So maybe I think the Aramatsu will be better because it's on tracks. So we'll try this, see what happens. We know tracked vehicles do a lot better when it comes to mud. I do think the other heavy dumper could struggle. But I think we'll have to lay the sand ourselves because we're going to need to keep stopping so we can move debris out the way, essentially. Whereas normally I would just let the AI lay the sand, but I think that might be a bad idea because it will just get stuck. And it won't remove the rocks. We'll have to do that ourselves. So yeah, I think we may have to do this manually by the looks of things. Isn't the end of the world, it's just going to take a little bit longer. But I think this might be the better decision than trying to get the other one and get stuck. We've already got the people stuck in the transport vehicle on their way to work at the steel mill. They're now stuck in the mud until we sort the road out to get them out. I don't want to get something else stuck there, really. We got very lucky the fact that there's actually a sand area there. I didn't think there was when I first looked. But so far this map has started off differently to a lot of the others in terms of how many bridging vehicles to actually get across anywhere. So what we're going to do is build the road, get the vehicle out of the mud, transport the people to the steel beam facility, then we'll go and clear the dam. Oh, okay, this is slightly off the ground here. I didn't realise that when we put it down, to be fair. Can we get on top? Yeah, okay. Not the best bridge in the world, but it will work for the time being. We've got to get the other vehicles across for making the road as well, which we'll have to use heavy transport, I think, for that. Which we know itself can have issues, so that's going to be interesting to see. Okay. Start point for the road is up here. I think this may take a lot of sand, just because we've already seen the big holes in the ground and stuff. It's going to be quite difficult, I think, to get this road going. Let's see in a second. And obviously we'll have to pull that vehicle out at some point, the scout vehicle. Or maybe a crane, actually, because we're going to need a crane here anyway, I think. So we could let the AI do the sand as we normally would, but I do think it's going to have issues. Because of the amount of rocks and stuff in the way of the road. It's just the holes as well. Right, I think what we do, we fill in that hole that's there first. So we can see the hole behind us. We're going to try and fill that in first and foremost with sand. Then we'll get our grader here. Because then we can get across to where you can see the big stones there. We can get across to there is my thinking. Okay, let's go back a little bit more. Obviously I don't want us to get stuck in a hole. Right, I'm not sure if the grader will fully do that, to clear that, but let's refill with sand. We're going to drive forward now to just start off the road bit, then we'll run the grader across, hopefully fill in that hole, and we'll go from there. As I say, we are going to have to do this manually rather than the AI, because I think we're going to have some big issues otherwise. And normally I would just get the AI to lay the sand. It's so much easier and we can do other things, but it's not going to be as even as probably it should be. Have we stalled the vehicle or something? Weird. Okay, we need to make sure this connects to the road. That's already there as much as we can. This is not, normally roads are fairly simple. You clear a bit of debris, you lay the sand, do everything else, job done. I think this one's going to have to be done in stages, very slowly, based on the terrain we're working with. Okay. Is that it's also we know the start point for roads can be really tricky as well. So I'll put this there for a sec. Right, we're gonna head back to garage where it's refilling. We need a grader across here now to get us some way across. Once the grader's done its thing, we'll then have to send another vehicle across to pick stuff up because there's going to be a lot of stones in the way. So we go with the Vostok ATM 53 Pioneer. It's the best grader in the game. Now, this should be absolutely fine to get across. Again, it's tracked, and we'll, as I say, we know that tracked vehicles are really good in mud. Hence why we're using a different heavy dumper, to be fair. For those that weren't here at the start of the stream as well, the what's it called? I can't think of the name of the map. The name of the thing, what I was about to say. Oh, the woodworking pack that released last week. If you can't find the vehicles in your game, as we can't, it's because they have removed it immediately due to a game-breaking bug that can destroy your save file. So we can't have a look at the new woodworking equipment until they release a patch to fix it and put the 3 new machines back in the game. So we'll have to wait before we get a chance to look at that. Timberwolf, I think it's Timberwolf back. So yeah, we just have to wait, which is frustrating because I was hoping to look at it, but nothing we can do. We'd rather not lose our save this close to finishing everything on the game has to offer, just because of an issue with the DLC or a free update essentially. Well, that got a little bit of lift there, didn't it? Too quick over there. Okay, I'm hoping we're okay going across the second bridge. That right hand turn there will take us up and over, but I think a lot of the vehicles are going to struggle with that. I don't know whether we might be better off making a road bridge across here at some point rather than using a temporary bridge. If this route becomes used a lot more than it is currently, although we're using it all the time at the minute, a proper bridge across here probably would be better. But until we can build a bridge, we're going to have to use what we've got. I've just got a feeling a heavy transporter, which we'll use to transport our roller and asphalt layer, may struggle over there. But as we can't build even wooden bridges, we're kind of limited to what we can do. Okay, just up the hill here, and then we'll be at a road site. And if we need more sand to fill the hole up, we can do that. It's not an issue. And then we're just going to need a crane over here as well for the rocks and stuff. And we've got to pull the people carrier out at some point. We're in no rush to do that at the minute though. Okay, here's the job site for the road. So what we'll do is grade the sand until we get to the hole point and see where we are from there. Normally we'd lay all the sand before even doing any of this, but we don't have much choice if we want to get across. We may not have put enough sand in the hole here yet, we'll see in a second. It's going to need some more, I think. We'll go from the start again. We want this to be as low as we can, really. Right, we need more sand to fill this hole up here. There we go. It's nearly there, but a little bit more sand, and then we need to get the crane over. We probably will pull out the people carrier at the same time, to be fair. So a bit more sand, fill in the hole a little bit more, and then we'll go and grab a crane to get the people carrier out. I think that's our best bet. As I say, normally we'll just crack on and get the road built, but it's not as simple as that at the minute. It's nice though that even at this late stage in the game, you know, the second DLC map, it's still offering us challenges that we need to deal with. You know, we need to think about the best way of doing something, rather than it being quite monotonous and being able to just do things without thinking. It is throwing up curveballs to make you think, right, how do I solve this problem? That's what I've always really enjoyed about this. It likes to throw you a curveball. Okay. We've been a little bit careful on that sand we're putting down, so I don't want this to be a big jump. Right, that should be alright. We'll grade that and then we'll go and grab our crane. Probably better off using a big crane, just so we can reach things without having to go on the mud too much. Or do we go for our tracked crane, considering what we're going to be dealing with? Tracked crane may be better, to be fair. Okay. We have got a big choice of cranes, that's the thing. Well, that drops down there, doesn't it? More than I probably would like. Okay, we've got sand to where the rocks start. Although, actually, we still need a crane to pull that out. I can probably move the rocks as we are, though. We will need a crane further up because of the vehicle in the way. Can we now get rid of these rocks? To a degree we can. Although this doesn't quite go low enough. I don't know though. If we don't need the crane yet, we won't get the crane yet. We can do this via a grader and carry on getting the sand down. I think we'll be able to. Can't push them any more than that. It's rather they're a little bit further away, to be fair. Mainly the smaller one, to be honest. There we go. Okay, so we can carry on getting the sand down here, I think. We don't need to worry too much now about the rocks until we get further on. And then we'll need a crane. There's another big hole and a vehicle in the way, so we will need a crane, I think. But we can now carry on laying the rest of the sand for the minute. as I say, it's nice to have new problems to solve and just not the same thing over and over. Okay, swap vehicle again. Back to the Amatsu. We'll do a reverse up as far as we can, and then come forward into the sand lane there. This obviously doesn't hold as much as the other heavy dumper does, but I think the other heavy dumper will struggle in these conditions. Hence why a track vehicle I think is better. I could be wrong and it would be brilliant, but I just got a feeling it wouldn't be. Knowing how bad this mud is. I think we're better off as we are. So we're definitely going to need a crane for some of these rocks and stuff here anyway. I know we've moved some with the grader. I think here though, we're probably going to need a crane, especially moving the vehicle out of the way as well on the big rocks. So if we lay sand here, we can then get a crane here and it will be able to work on sand, and then the mud won't become an issue. Don't do that. I'm trying to make sure we fill the sand in that side bit. That's why I hate putting sand down. I find it so tricky to get it equal. Luckily the grader does do a good job. Thanks for the like, videos, much appreciated. Okay, so we'll go as far as we can to get back to the bit we've already done, and then we will call in a crane, or grade it and then we'll call in a crane. And while the crane's here, we'll get the other vehicle, the people carrying that's there out as well. That's currently stuck. Thought we could get the people to work, and we were wrong. Let's put it that way. Okay, should join up nicely, hopefully. Let's get this over here. We'll grade what we can there, and then we'll bring a crane across. I don't think it needs to be a tracked crane, to be fair, because we're going to be working on the sand, so I don't think it does need to be a track crane. I think a big crane will be fine. Okay. But this is, if we're dealing with these kind of conditions very early on, I'm assuming it's only going to get worse as we go. Okay. I can put the hole in the ground, in the stone in the hole, to be fair. We're going to put sand in there anyway. It's only the big stuff that the sand won't cover we kind of need to get out of there. So let's see if it gets a little bit more on the edge. Right. No manual, I want action. There we go. So now we get the crane across, we'll pull out the vehicle that we've got decided to get stuck in the mud there, and they can't get to work just yet, they need to wait till the road's done. And then we'll also get out the stuff in the way, carry on laying the sand, and then hopefully get this road done fairly soonish. Okay. As I say, normally we get the AI to lay the sand, but it's just not worth the risk at the minute. When it comes to crane then, do I go for the Vostok, knowing it can deal with the conditions? The only downside to that is obviously, yes, it can deal with the conditions, but we're working on sand, so I don't think it needs to be. I can never remember which one the better one is. Is it the Zilks or the other one? 4335. 4355. We'll go with the EPEC. As on paper, it is a better one. I think they're both near enough the same. We've used them both over time. The EPEC and the Zilks. They're both good big cranes, to be fair. They both do what we need them to do. The big crane may be overkill, but I'm just conscious of one, the vehicle in the hole, but also there's the people carrier we need to get out as well. And as they're working on sand, not mud, we don't really need a tractor crane, because it shouldn't come off the sand. That's the hope anyway. This will give us a good idea, I think, as well, of how viable that second bridge unit is. Obviously temporary until we can make bridges, but it needs to be viable, mainly for the heavy transporter, because we're going to have to get an asphalt layer and a roller across, and rather than driving both individually, it will be better and quicker to onboard the heavy transporter. But we also know how bad the heavy transporter is. So it's catch-22 really with that. Nearly going off-road there. Got a bit of speed up and then couldn't control it. Right, this is our bridge. This is my concern with the heavy transporter, is this. Whoa, slow down. May need to put a road here at some point as well, to be fair. The more roads you have, the easier things are. That's the thing. I don't know why I'm struggling with this today. This just seems to be really, really reactive to any steering inputs. There we go. Not normally that reactive, normally, from what I can think. But yeah, for some reason it's been very reactive. Okay, up the hill. I think people carrier first, just out the way then, isn't it? And then the abandoned car plus rocks. And what we'll do, we'll probably just put the people carrier on the sand behind us or something, so we can actually drive out. Okay, we're here. So yeah, we'll put the people carrier on the sand, and that should be okay to actually move from there. Okay, it should be okay. Our anchors don't really fit the way we would hope, but we should be okay. Right, that's down on the sand. We're just going to quickly swap to it and move it, so it's just not in the way anywhere else. So we thought we could risk it and drive across where it wanted a road, just so we can get the people to work at the steel mill, and it didn't quite go to plan. We at least rescued them. They're just going to have to wait a little bit longer before they can go to work, by the looks of things. They can sit and watch the road being built though, I suppose that's something. They're probably getting paid as well while they're waiting to get there, so it's not the end of the world. Right, anchors, hold the crane for a minute. Right, we've got a car to get out of the hole and any big rocks to remove as well. Okay. Move this out of the way. I said we probably could leave it because we're going to fill the hole anyway, but I think we're better off getting rid of what we can. I want the car. There we go. Kind of moved out of the way for itself, to be fair. Now, I'm not sure if we can recycle this at some point, so we're just going to move over here. If at some point we can come back and recycle it, brilliant. Okay. So we could probably put these in the hole when we fill it with sand, but we don't know how much of an issue it's going to cause when we start grading it and stuff. Having rocks and leaves of sand could cause us other issues. We are just better off moving them, I think. them out of the way at least. I'm not, because we know sometimes the actual physics can be a bit weird, and if we put sand down and the rocks are underneath the sand, we may find it kind of messes up when we try and grade the sand and stuff. So rather than run that risk, let's just move them out of the way. I think that's the best option here. Right, got two big ones to move over here as well. So we're going to see the reach. Well, there we go. On there. And then we can move out of the way and start laying more sand. I'm not sure if we can just let the AI now do it. I think we'll carry on doing it manually, just to be sure, because we've got to fill in this little hole first anyway. Right, that's the rocks out of the way. Okay, what else? I think it's a clear shot now. There is one. That one there is on the edge. I don't know if I can reach it from here. It may give us the reach. It does well move it. Yes, it does. Okay. Saves us coming back to try and move it in a minute. Brain's already here. Might as well do it now. Okay. I think there is a small one in the way there, but the grader will probably deal with that. I think we are free and clear now. So we'll have a look down there. Yeah, I think we are free. The road now just needs sanding before we get the asphalt layer here. But this is the thing, whenever you start a new map, obviously we have this period of infrastructure being built that then makes things life easier as we go along. We do build roads that aren't asked for and extend ones that are asked for at times as well. But generally, it's always the start of any new map is this period of just building infrastructure, and it will hopefully help us long term. I've got the words out. Okay, back to the Aramatsu bowhead. What we'll do now, we'll turn round and go forwards now, because we can no, actually we've got a hole to fill in. We can't go backwards forward, sorry. We need to fill the hole in first, then we can go forwards for the rest of it. But we need to fill that hole in first, otherwise we're not going to actually get anywhere. I think the Aramatsu bowhead was the right choice rather than the other heavy dump that we normally use. I think it would have struggled with the terrain. Okay. That may have been a little bit overkill. Okay, is there enough sand in there for the grader to grade the hole so we can go forwards, possibly? What I will do actually, spin it back. We'll do a bit more sand the other side. Just trying to make sure we don't have to come back and do any more. And then we can just turn around and do the rest of it once it's been graded. Maybe, potentially we can turn around now and get across and carry on laying sand, to be fair. Potentially. That should be this bit. Okay, what we should be able to do now is turn around while we're refilling the sand, and potentially just go straight now, and then we don't need to come back on ourselves. Need to move the foot. Last night was ridiculous. We've been having it quite a bit recently where the foot swells up out of the blue and then gets ultra sensitive more than normal, and it was just so frustrating. Nothing is comfortable. It's been an ongoing thing now for a few months, and there's nothing we can do. It's just frustrating and annoying. Okay. So this may be a bit dodgy to start with, but I think we can get across absolutely fine. And we don't slide. There we go. My concern was always sliding, but we're okay. Right, what I want to do is back up a little bit. Just put a bit more sand down there. You can see actually where the damaged road is, to be fair. There's bits of it there. I hadn't seen that till just now. There's bits of damaged road here. Right, let's go whatever slightly. There we go. Right, so from here we can now drive forward onto Refield and just lay sand as we normally would for the road until we get to the end point. And that should be jobs as good, hopefully. I'm just checking. It's weird that YouTube have changed their studio for when you watch the live stream to keep an eye on everything. It's going to take a bit of getting used to, I think. Too quick. Definitely not used to controlling these tracks. Put sand everywhere bar where I wanted it to go, to be fair there. Thought it would be okay, but I'm stuck on something. It can't be the mud that I'm stuck on, surely. I am actually stuck, I think. Oh no, low gear is making me move slightly. I didn't think with the tracks we get stuck unless we were caught on something. That's a bit weird there, to be fair. Ah, that rock wasn't there originally, I don't think. I think I've moved it accidentally. Could potentially be a problem. Okay. Hoping we can just budge the rock out of the way as we go forward. Okay, need a bit more sand to finish us off. It's okay. I just always struggle with putting sand down like this. And there is roadway there, so the end point is the road itself, so we don't need to worry too much about extending this too much. End on, it does. I will make sure it ends on the tarmac. There's the rock we've been moving with us. We are going to need to do something about that. Although the grader probably would be the better option to move it. Yeah, I might be able to move it to the side just like that. Okay, that should be fine there. The sand is done. We now need to grade what we've done, and then we need to go and fill up the heavy transporter with the two other vehicles we need to finish this off. I think we've done okay. It's not without its issues, but we've actually solved a lot of those. And this will be our first road of this new map built and done. And then we hopefully can get the workers to the steel mill to begin their work. And then we need to go and clear the area over the dam so we can access that. That's part of the same mission of this one. Right, how does this grade? It should be okay. There's a bit of an incline there, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. Yeah, it's not been too bad. It's still the mud that's on the top of this now already. Hasn't taken long to dirty this up, has it? Okay. What I'm going to do quickly, I think I might actually turn around and go back. The reason for that is obviously we have a couple of inclines that may be worth just trying to smooth out a little bit. Which we'll see if it does. I think it's worth just trying to level out a little bit more, just because it will just save any hassles in the future, especially the asphalt layer struggling with some inclines sometimes. At the end of the day, the road doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be usable. That's what we're aiming for, more than anything else. I think that is okay. Yeah, the inclines aren't too bad. There's a couple of little drop points, but it should be okay. No road's ever perfect, is it? That's the thing. No matter how much you try and make it, it's never going to be perfect. Right, we'll go to the sides here. We need to call in heavy transport from the garage and load it up. My only concern is obviously getting across our two makeshift bridges. That is my only concern. It's because I'm right on the garage, it gives me that instead. Right, there we go. The only thing I do want to pull back is our other dumper. So the dumper that's already deployed is this one. No, it's not. It's this one. So we'll move that way because currently it's in the way of us deploying vehicles. Right, we want heavy transporter. I think it's in this menu. Yeah. Deploy the heavy transporter. We're going to load this up with our two remaining road-making vehicles, the asphalt layer and the roller. They're the two vehicles we need to get on board, and then we can take them to there as well. If we drive them themselves, it will take forever. So I think it's always easier to use this to get them to where we need them to be. So we want asphalt layer is last. We want the roller on first. So the Arling Roadworks 750R is our roller of choice. It is the best roller in the game. So we'll load that up first, asphalt layer second, and then we'll get these both over to where they need to be. So glad they actually added the update where you can actually strap these vehicles down. It makes the heavy transporter a little bit more usable. Still needs a power increase, but it's a little bit more usable than it used to be. Right, I'm just going to make sure that straps. It does indeed. Okay, back into the garage. And we want the Arling Roadworks 120 Special as our asphalt layer. And we need that on board as well. Showing that before we go on board. It can be a bit fiddly at times, this camp. There's some, it doesn't like some things, you've got to be really careful and fiddly with it. It's quite happy to say no. Right, that's as close as we can go. Let's go back to this. Vehicles are strapped. Raise the ramp. It will probably hit. No, it's okay. So both vehicles should now be strapped down, so we can now start driving these towards where the road is. We've got 2 bridges that we put down ourselves, and the bridge layers we've got to go across both of those. The second one being the one more awkward one, admittedly, but we'll see what it's like once we get there. But yeah, definitely being able to strap vehicles down on this has made this so much more useful. Just wish it had a little bit more oomph at times. I've seen it on a few occasions where it just doesn't have the power to help you out when you need it. For a heavy transporter, you'd think it'd be more capable of carrying heavy loads, so it just struggles. Okay, round the corner. Right, the last thing I want to do, we've got to be careful going across these bridges, mainly because I don't want to lose a vehicle off the side. It shouldn't do, unless we start tipping severely, which it shouldn't do, but you never know. We just need to be a little bit careful. Try and hit the ramps quite square if we can. Make sure the trailer goes on okay. Last thing we want is the trailer at an angle, really. We're over and both vehicles across. So the second ramp is the concern. We'll know if we've got enough power to get up there in a minute. Hopefully it's okay. It's only temporary. The minute we can build a bridge, we'll probably put a proper bridge in there. If we're going to be using that a lot more. The only other thing we can do is actually build a road. So the reason we're going across this bridge to get across here is this gap here. This bit here, we probably need a road if we want to make use of it, to be fair. And even this road here may need joining. So if we get more we have to do round here, the more likely is what we'll do. We'll build a road to connect both bits together, and then we won't bother with the bridge. Or we can just build a bridge as well, or instead, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It all depends on what the missions entail going forward. But currently this is the quickest way across. The only concern is this bit leading up to it. Okay. To be fair, I did think this would struggle more. Oh, okay, it's starting to now. Don't go off the side. Sliding a little bit. It's okay though. That went a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest. I've only just noticed that big leaning tree there, to be fair. I've not noticed that till now. Yeah, that went across a lot better than I thought. It did struggle a little bit going up and over, and then coming off because the angle was a bit awkward. But better than I expected. I just knocked a tree over. Don't know. I heard the sound of a tree falling, but I didn't think it was anywhere near one. Yeah, that went better than I thought. Right, up the hill, and then we can unload and get this road finished off. With the workers to the steel mill, and then we'll head to the dam as well. Just got to finish off this. And this is where obviously the lack of power. The incline is quite big here, but still. Heavy transporter should have more to it. Low gear on just to help. I know that both vehicles are heavy, but even so. Just needs a few more beans. But we kind of need to park out the way as well, to be fair. But in a position where the vehicles will come off as well. Might try this bit here, to be fair. As long as the ramp is on the road itself. Okay, that might have been a mistake. Can we get it round? I think if we stop there and toggle the ramp, I think we should be alright. I'll go on secure vehicles first. There we go. Now I can enter a secure vehicle. Yeah, that worked out okay. I was hoping to get the ramp in a position where you can strap onto the road, and that actually worked out really well. Okay, let's get the asphalt layer laying, asphalt, tarmac, whatever you want to call it. And then we get this road finished off. And the steel mill workers can go to the steel mill. That's the hope. Okay. Start a little bit backwards. There we go. We haven't really done anything to make this any wider than normal. We normally would make these roads wide, but I don't think this needs to be. It'll be fairly wide anyway because this is quite long, and so the roller will do 2 passes and generally get both sides done. Obviously, if there's an oncoming vehicle, I don't think we get past it, but we'll see. It's actually down the corner. I thought the inclines might actually mess this up, but actually, it's been okay. Why is it now not wanting to know? Now it's decided to mess around, as it does occasionally. I wonder if there's a small rock in the way. Oh, it's okay now. There we go. No, it's not. It won't turn left. Can't get it to turn left. Not while laying asphalt anyway. Once you've got an angle. That'd be why. You can see the rock on the other side. Catching that rock. Okay. Let's go a little bit this way. Reset. Should be fine. There we go. Past the rock. It's only a tiny rock as well, and it affects it massively when you get catching like that. Why are you messing up now? This is where the asphalt layer can get a little bit frustrating, because it decides it doesn't like what you're doing and has a mind of its own. Can't turn left. Sometimes it's better off just going from the other side, but we'll see. Might be okay now, actually. That had a little funny moment, but other than that, that wasn't too bad. You know, the asphalt layer can be a bit finicky at times. All the way to the end. Job done. Right, let's park this up. Again, we don't know when we're going to need it or where we're going to need it, so there's no point returning it to garage just yet. Park it up so we can use it in the future. I didn't even look back on what we'd laid down, to be fair. We'll have a look with the roller, and if it's really bad, we may have to add to it, but we'll see. Right, get the roller off. And get this road finished. It may take 2 passes with the roller, it generally does. Even though it's wider than your normal roller. We'll activate the roller. I don't understand the activation. I get it in some respects, but we never used to have to activate it. Okay. It's saying that first bit's done, annoyingly. We'll have to come back on ourselves. It sometimes levels out for you when you get the green. And it's all done, it will level out the bit that isn't actually flattened, so we shall see. Sometimes it's still worth going over it, to be fair. Even though we're not doing that left hand side, we're sitting to the right, it's still saying it's done, weirdly. Surprised by that. Okay, second pass just to finish it off. And then that's road complete. And then we'll get the team to the steel mill to get that done as well. It's a fairly wide road, to be fair. If we're driving carefully, we should be able to pass a vehicle if there's a convoy or something. I wonder why it hasn't finished, but it's just a bit here that doesn't count as done. There we go. Well, that dropped me off suddenly, didn't it? So as I say, it does actually roll bits for you. So there are bits and misses. So that is job done. The roller as well. And that is road complete. So we're going to quickly swap missions back to driving the crew, and then we're going to jump in their people carrier. We're going to drive the crew to the steel mill as we intended at the start. Now the road is finished, and then we'll head to the dam after that. But at least these guys will be in a position to start their work, and we can crack on with what we need to do next. Look at this lovely road though. Hopefully there's no other issues getting to the steel mill. No, my luck, there'll be something. We'll see. Whoa. Me crashing is part of the issue. Good job damage isn't active. When we first started the game, damage wasn't a thing. Now you can turn damage on, but you can't do it for ongoing saves. It has to be a new save. That's the thing. Okay. Oh, this is new. Obviously, we're not seeing any of this till now. That's a yellow door there, so there'll be a convoy at some point from here. It would seem. We're getting to there, so we want to go straight, don't we? But yeah, there'll be a convoy coming out of that doorway at some point, as it's a yellow door. There's a few materials here that can be recycled by the looks of it when we need steel beams. And that is the workers in their people carrier. I don't think we've driven a people carrier till now. But that is the workers at work at the steel mill. That is mission complete. The new mission now arrived as well. We'll do the dam first, as we've had that mission first. Repair the steel beams facility. Okay, so it needs an infrastructure route. We may be able to do this now. And it also needs electricity. So until this is done, the steel beams facility isn't going to be up and running yet. So the route we need to travel from the old street tunnel here. Okay, we can set that up now. Because we've obviously done the road, this journey becomes a lot easier. So actually we'll set the route so it starts off while we're busy doing other things. And then we need to connect electricity here as well. So we need to get some cables laid to this point here. And then there's a power substation here, which is doable. Obviously, the only downside to that is it's right where there is a road crossing. We want to try and ignore that if we can. Maybe come along this side, then come through the trees and up. We want to make sure we keep roads as clear as possible when doing things like that. Okay, so that's easily done. I think we start the convoy off first. Because as I say, that can be doing its thing whilst we're doing this. Where is this road? It wants a road logistics terminal down to there. Okay, that's north of where we are now. We don't know about that. There isn't a mission for that yet, and it's a lot further north than we are currently dealing with. So, repair the steel mill. Let's get this up and running. As I say, now the road's built, we shouldn't, fingers crossed, have any issues. As long as all our machinery's out the way as well. But this will get the steel beam facility back up and running. And then hopefully, once up and running, that will give us steel bridges. Which we can then look at putting in place of some of the temporary bridges we put in. I'm surprised we can't have wooden bridges. Because normally that's the minimum you start with, is the ability to do wooden bridges. But we don't even have that. Which is unusual. Okay, make sure we miss our vehicles that are here. Okay, coming through here can also be a bit dodgy if you're not careful here. We know the turnings for the AI can be tricky at times. Right, that is ready. Let's dispatch that. And while that's doing its thing, we're going to go with this objective which we've already started. Because we've done the road, we now need to clear the way across the dam. That's our focus first and foremost. So for that, we need to go and clear this area. We don't really know. I'm guessing it's the debris. Actually, to be fair, I think it's fairly simple what needs moving. And we can get there from the Highland base anyway. We've got one crane already out and about, so we want to ignore that one. I don't like taking cranes away from where they already are. We may as well use our other big crane. As we do have two. We have got these other ones, but I think we're better off just using our other heavy crane. The Zilks is just slightly not as good as the EPEC, but for this job I think it'll be absolutely fine. So we'll head to the dam, we'll have a look at what we need to clear. It's going to be a lot of debris cars, I think, by the looks of things. I don't know whether it's worth putting them in a... I don't know. I wonder if heavy transporter may be worth taking the cars to recycle once we get the recycling plant, the steel beam city up and running properly. If they can be recycled. Sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. But there looks to be a lot of cars that are here. Let's have a look what we're dealing with. Yeah, the flood hit this pretty hard, didn't it? Okay, what I'm going to quickly check, first and foremost, is what can be recycled here. So the cars can all be recycled. So it might be worth some point loading these on for the heavy transporter. And then that's a lot of metal to be recycled before we need beams. Because there's quite a few of them. And the best thing for these would be the heavy transporter, I think. So we want to leave them in a position that are easy to pick back up when we need to. Okay. What was that noise? There was a little beeping noise there. What was that? Oh, it's because it made its first jump. It's made its first run. The actual. Well, get my words out today. The convoy has completed its run. It has now made it to its destination. Right, we need to make sure these are out of the area. So this looks to be this left-hand side is the best point to put them. Yeah, as I say, lots of metal here that we can recycle, which is good. Hopefully we'll get rid of a lot of this when we need some steel beams. Heavy transport should be able to load up with lots, as it's an easy route. Now that we've got the bridge and stuff done. Well, not the road done, sorry. Don't let me think of anything else at the minute. Come on. Another abandoned car in the floods. Let's say, this will probably all be used up at some point in the future, hopefully. At least we know where to get loads of metal from when we need to. Right, we've got one bit here, we'll move this and then we will go forward a bit more. There is a tyre that can be sold nearby, we've got to move that out of the way as well, I think. Although there's no arrow on it, so maybe we don't, to be fair. But it is in the way of the road bit. Okay. The big tanker is now the next thing I think we're going to need to move. Let's go forward. Another completion for the infrastructure. Right, this is going to be heavy. Anchors are in. And this can be recycled as well. I don't know how we get it there, but this can be recycled. Okay. There we go. There's another car here to move as well. What is that bridge alongside? Oh, it goes down. I've just seen where that. I wonder where that other bridge is. It's like a footbridge, isn't it? Across the dam. Give me the other car. There we go. Right, that's this side of the dam clear. We'll then go across the other side and clear that. of all its debris. But yeah, at some point, hopefully, we can recycle a lot of this and make steel beams from it. That would be the plan, anyway. I say this now, once it comes to getting steel beams, they're probably easier stuff to go and pick up nearer the factory, so I'll forget about this bit because there's other stuff closer. Job done. Okay. Across the dam we go, so we can deal with the other stuff. There's a car there that needs picking up and moving. Maybe better off doing that now, actually. What's that actually picking up on? Oh, there's a car down there. That also needs picking up as well. I didn't see that car down there, to be fair. So a lot of these cars must have washed off the bridge, off the dam when the flood hit. There we go. Right, what is the best port of call here? Probably go backwards, to be fair. So it needs to be out of the area, doesn't it? So that's... If we get this straight out in front, we can then get the anchors off and just reverse back here a little bit slowly. We'll bring the car with us, it's in front. And then we can just place it over here with the rest of them. And then we'll do the same with the other car as well. There we go. Bring this to the front. Anchors, handbrake. Let's go and get the second car. Anchors on. Yeah, didn't see the one that had fallen down the dam immediately, but we've got it now, so that's fine. Change camera. Anchors, handbrake. Back we go. Let's get this car off out of the area as well. And all of the other cars. Right, back across the dam then. I keep pointing at a bridge, but it's a dam. Right, we need to clear these as well out of the area. Obviously, we can't get past the immediate. I'm trying to see where the best place to chuck them is. Probably to the left-hand side, to be fair. Let's get a little bit closer. Hopefully we can reach a little bit to our left-hand side and put them out of the way, and we can then move forward when we need to in a minute. I'm just checking something else. So not used to this new view on the YouTube page. It's annoying because I can't see certain analytics. I have to change what I'm looking at to be able to see it. I don't know why they changed it. I really don't. There we go. Right. We'll grab the first car. Will I put anchors down? Yeah. Okay. So we should be able to hopefully reach far enough away to this left-hand side to put things over here out of the way, so it counts as them being off. And again, hopefully, if we wanted to, later on we can recycle these as well. If we need metal. Should have just grabbed it originally. There we go. What we will do is drive forward a little bit more, just so we're not overreaching with the crane. go. Anchors down again. Next car. There's a lot of debris here. There's a lot of metal if we do need it, admittedly. Why can't I go any further there? Oh, I think it's the car getting stuck on the ground. I thought it was an issue with the crane, but I think it's the car. Right, I want to go more... I want to go further in, really. I'm kind of not been able to put them further away than I need to. Now I've made a bit of a pile. We come here, though. That should be plenty. Right, we'll go on to our right-hand side first. There it is. There we go. Should be able to put them out of the way now. There's a small barrel, we'll do that last. There has to be a barrel, this is the last little bit to pick up, especially considering we pick cars up everywhere else. Tiny barrel that's going to be doing. Right, final car, and I think it is just that small barrel. And then we're good to go. The mission may add more to this, I don't know yet. It may want to do something else, or it will be done and we'll move on. We've got a side mission to do as well, we've got to proper look at that as well. Give me the barrel over here. I did, I just moved away. There we go. Last thing we need to move is the barrel. There we go, that's mission complete. It didn't give us any more for the mission either, to be fair. That is mission complete. Okay. So 2 main missions already complete, or 3 in terms of finding our base of operations as well, to be fair. So that's 3 main missions already complete this morning. We're doing okay. We'll have a look at the side mission next. Remove the wreckage from the river. Let's have a look at this. So there's wreckage in this river here. And we need to clear it. Now, the flooding washed away a pier, leaving wreckage from a boat and a tower clogging the southern river bay. If you've got the time, help us clear it out. By the way, the wreckage is valuable, so expect a nice reward. It's not that much money, to be fair. I don't quite know. Although we have a crane here. This is a waterlogged here. I don't know how the crane is going to do with this water, to be fair. I may bet off of a tracked crane. And we have got a decent sized one, actually. I don't think the big crane is going to be our best option for this. Although saying that, can we see with the crane what this looks like? Ish. It's going to be heavy stuff. I'd rather use a tracked crane, I think, across that water, though. That's my only thinking. So, what we do, back in the garage. Crane-wise, we have got the Vostok. I think it's going to be too small. I think we're better off with the EPEC. I think that might be a best option here. What else? Have we got anything else? I think no. I think the EPEC is probably our best bet. The TC305. We haven't used it very often, but it is tracked, and it has a good centre of gravity that makes it not tip over very easily. Not the fastest thing in the world, admittedly, but I think with the conditions of the water down there, this should be a better option. I think we get stuck in the mud too easily with the other crane if we're not careful. Obviously, if this doesn't work, we can use a crane that's nearby. Hopefully, sort it out between the two of them. Right, let's see what we're going to do. So it looks like wreckage from a pier. There's going to be a tower and a boat that we've got to retrieve by the looks of things. And we can go down via the mud trail here on the right as well. It does avoid some of the water at least. This is where tracked vehicles come into their own, really, when it comes to some of the awkward terrain. This has got a decent reach. The only downside to this is the weight it can lift is smaller than the two big cranes, but obviously it can get places they can't. Right, what are we looking at? That's the question. It's only debris that's valuable we need to move. We don't need to move the rocks and stuff. Can't. Well, there's a boat bit to our left here. Nothing's showing up as what we need to remove though, weirdly. Which is clearly an area of objects, but doesn't actually show us what objects need removing. My guess is this bit of the boat there, the big bit over there, and those two. That's my guess. Well, saying that, this isn't allowing us to pick that up though. Yeah, there's no attachment. Okay, so it's not that needs removing then. You'd think there'd be normally there's arrows on what we need to remove, but that's not doing it. Right, we need to be a bit careful with water level here, so we don't flood this. But yeah, I do think the bigger cranes would struggle in here. Okay, now we're seeing an arrow. Thing is, to remove this out, there we go, now we're getting closer, we are seeing it. We're going to have to drive with these attached, I think, to get them out of the area, interestingly. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll grab the first bit here, we'll drive backwards with this. The heavy stuff potentially could be a problem, but we shall see. We'll bring this back towards us. And then we need to drive backwards here. The centre of gravity for this is going to be really helpful, I think, in trying to move these out. Just got to get past the rocks. Okay, let's pass that one. The only problem, this riverbed isn't exactly clear. Can't turn any more left than that. Oh, it is slowly getting that. Come on. It really doesn't like that, does it? But there we go. Obviously we need to get all this debris out of the area for it to count as done. This is going to be a bit of an awkward side mission, I think. It seemed quite simple when we first saw it, but actually I think this is going to be a bit awkward. Okay, that is one bit out at least. It's probably the easiest bit, to be fair. Do. Right, easiest bit done, I think. Let's get back to the big boat and see what we can do with that. And then the two big bits of metal there, I'm guessing they're also needing to be removed, based on what it told us with the tower and the boat. Now, my only concern is how heavy this boat is. If it's really heavy, we might have to keep moving it a bit at a time, reposition, move again kind of thing, depending. And obviously we need to be careful how far in the water we are as well. Okay, let's get a little bit too deep for my liking there. Okay, this doesn't have any anchors, it doesn't generally need them, but obviously we're also going to be careful weight-wise. Right, that's the boat being dragged towards us. That is big. I said this crane was good because of its centre of gravity. We're now going to see how good. There we go. We'll keep the crane camera as we try and move backwards with this. As long as it's high enough to avoid hitting anything, we should be okay. It's not allowing me to move. Obviously the rocks causing us a little bit of an issue. Turn the other way. We'd very much like to be driving forwards ideally, but it's not going to let us turn. Well, they would actually. We might be able to turn enough here that we can go forwards rather than back. Come on, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Right, we should be able to go forwards now. It should hopefully make this a little bit easier. I might have to change camera though. It's the rocks that causes a little bit of an issue when it comes to turning. I think we're okay. Just got to lift up a little bit more. Just be careful how far it brings us forward. I think it's a rock underwater we're caught on. We can't see some of the rocks under the water and it's catching us out. We try and get past them. Is that enough? Come on. Can't get traction over that rock on our right hand side. That's what's causing the problem. Obviously we're trying to turn without being able to see the rocks underneath the water. Pose their own issue. There we go. Okay, we got there in the end. It's always going to be tough. I still think this would be better than using the bigger crane just because of what we're dealing with underneath the water. Right, let's drop this down then. That is the boat out of the area. Okay. So my guess is the other two big metal things over there we also need to remove. It's not showing us what needs removing until we're right nearby, which is unusual, but that's what we've got to deal with. So we'll find out. Obviously, we've got to find a route that's going to work for bringing them back as well, with the increased weight of the rocks. I don't know what the most favourable route will be. I don't know how close we can get either, if it's too deep like that. That's deep, that's deep, that's deep. We've not... I don't know if I'm going to make this. It's telling us it's deep. I need to go up, there we go. Oh, I'm worried then for a minute, I thought we were stuck. Right, that's the first thing that needs lifting. And we do need the far bit as well. Which means you must be able to get close to it though, to be able to lift it. Okay. How will this lift? I think we need to turn right and go down that channel there, maybe. This obviously is going to be heavy, so we do need it up in the air a little bit. Even for this crane, when it's low centre of gravity, this could be a problem, weight-wise. Okay, it's up. That's as close as we can get it to us. May need to go higher yet. It's all going to depend on the rocks and things. Okay, let's straighten that out. I say we still need to come back for the other bit. I don't know if it's worth trying to put this down and then go for the other bit and put it down so it's closer to the land at least. Maybe that's the better idea, rather than trying to get it all the way there in one foul swoop. Go as far as we can without messing up the crane, put it down and go and get the other bit. Might be a better idea. Okay, I don't know how we get the other bit at this point. We do not want to drown the vehicle. That's the thing we're very conscious of, we're not drowning this. Is that rock? Okay, we can reach a far way out, to be fair. I'm trying to turn here. I'd rather grab it from the front because we've got more reach that way. It's still a long way away though, isn't it? That's my big concern, how far away it is and we need to grab it. I need to get us to manoeuvre. I do think this is still the better option than the wheeled cranes. But it is, underneath the water is so difficult to navigate and get this to turn. Just want to go left. I just can't get it to turn at all. Okay. It's not allowing us to turn easy. Let's see if we can reach it from here. I don't think we'll be able to. If we can, amazing. If we can't, we need closer. But again, I don't even know how close we can get. Ideally. Single attachment won't attach. No, we're nowhere near close enough. We need to get the crane closer somehow. Without drowning it as well. Right, we can see a little bit of stuff under the water here, so hopefully we can go a little bit closer. It's just going to depend on how deep this gets. Very big, I think, at this point. Okay, luckily for us, the only bit that drowns is the back end. It's not the front end that drowns. You want to turn any more than that? Not really. I'm still not that close to it. I want to go on that bit of debris to our left, ideally. It's not letting me go anywhere now. Come on. Low gear on, see if that makes a difference. Okay. I think that is the only way close is there. Potentially. Although saying that, there's quite a lot of debris on this left hand side to get us round. I wonder if maybe we can come round here to pick it up. Potentially we can. I think we'd have to come across all this though. But I think that's probably our only way of getting close enough. We'll still leave the other one where it is. It's close. It's closer to getting out, so it'll be easier when we get back to it. Careful not to drown that back end. It's the rocks that are causing the big issues. And obviously the tracks do help, but on rocks it can be tricky. Right, if we head over this way then and round. Well, that nosedive more than I thought it was going to. Okay, that's very deep. I don't know if I can fix this here. We need to get more to this left-hand side. It's not letting me turn at all. I so thought this would be a lot easier than this, especially with the track grade, but the rocks cause so many problems. Just trying to turn. And because you can't see what's under the water, obviously, it's difficult to know what you're catching on some of the time. Just want to go forward. I'm not even turning at all, I'm just letting it do its thing, hoping it will get us in a position where we can go forward. I'm turning now, trying to get it to go right. Come on. Okay, what do we do here? It's because we can't get over that rock there, it seems. And it won't turn enough to go to the right either. If we go back too much, we'll end up drowning as well. So, there's a. You can just make it out. There's a rock right underneath us that we're caught on, and that's causing the problems. We can't quite get over it enough. Right, let's try this. I don't know if this works. What I'm thinking is we try and move ourselves to that. Yeah, I thought we could. That might pull us out, but it won't. Right, if we move this way though, it's out of the water at least, so that won't drown now. There we go. That helped massively. Just change where the weight was. Didn't help massively there. Okay, back to normal. Right, we think we need to be heading along here to get to this bit. All this just to get that so we can move it. We want to be heading to our right here, really. Again, it's the unseen stuff that is causing us the issues. So maybe a tracked vehicle wasn't our best option. I did think we didn't really have much choice. I don't know if maybe we go back to the wheeled crane and maybe that's a better option here. If we're just having so many issues with trying to go over some of these rocks with the tracks. I don't know if wheels would be better actually. It's not muddy, it's the rocks that are causing the issue, whereas the tracks we thought would be the best option because in case it was all muddy underneath, but actually it doesn't seem to be, it's the rocks. Thanks for the like, but much appreciated. Yeah, I think I don't want to obviously give up on this, but I think maybe wheels are better. Right, let's hold it there for a minute. We have got a wheeled crane here, so what we're going to do is bring the wheeled crane, just see if it's better to deal with the rocks than what we're using. Just got a feeling maybe our choice is slightly off because there's no mud involved, it is just rocks. Wheels may work better. We could be wrong, we'll find out in a second, but the tracks are just having too many issues. It's nowhere near as muddy as we thought it would be, which is a bonus. Okay, we need to obviously get through there. I think we can. Straight away getting caught up on that first rock. Okay, I think we start by pulling that big one out of where it is, because obviously it needs to be over here anyway. So we'd move it with the track crane closer to where we need to move it out from. Let's get it out properly so we know that's out the way and done. And then we'll go for the other part of this. There we go. So that's out. Now we need to get across to roughly where that crane is. We'll now see if wheels are better than tracks when it comes to the rocks. I think they will be. Obviously we still need to try and avoid the deep water where possible. This will drown from front end as well, not the back end. Does manage the rocks a bit better, doesn't it? So I think we were wrong when we first said that the tracked vehicle would be better. Because the water, what's underneath the water, isn't what we expected. Well, they're saying that. Can't quite move. It is the rocks under the water causing so many issues here. Okay. We still need to get that big bit of tower out. Okay. Now all we've got to do is hope this isn't too deep or it's not too rocky to stop us going. That bit of mud there that we want to go on, we can't get up. Hitting the front end when we try and get to it. This was our concern about using wheels instead of tracks. Those tracks probably would get up there fairly easily. Can't do anything now. I've got no movement whatsoever. What are we at? Can't see what we're stuck on, that's the other problem. What I might try and do is swap to the other crane and just see if we can nudge us. How is it suddenly this crane moves absolutely fine? A minute ago we couldn't get this to move and now it does. Okay, can't pull that any tighter. So let's see if we can just move this to the left a little bit. Just to get it off whatever it's stuck on there. It might be a case now we can actually drive this vehicle out. We brought this one over thinking that we needed a different vehicle because the traction was getting stuck. And instead we get the wheel stuck. I think we're beached on a rock. I think that's the problem. Sometimes if you do the anchors and drive forward at the same time, it can give you that little bit of momentum needed. There we go. I think this has got a longer reach than the track crane as well, so that might be to our advantage here. It may even be a combination of the two cranes is what's needed to get this out. I don't know if I can reach it from here. It may not reach. Let's have a look. I'd say this has got a better reach than the tracked crane, but is it enough? It is enough. Maybe I have to, let's do a single combination first, because my concern is moving it. That moved better than I expected. To be fair, I did not think that was going to move that way. See how deep that water is though, by the fact we've just put it under the water. Okay, it's moving us a little bit more than we'd like. Right, we've got it. So now can we get out of the circle? Right, we'll change back to the normal attachment. There we go. We need to drive with this out, or place it and drive out ourselves, pick it back up, replace. So what I think we do is we stretch this as far as we can, and then maybe use the track crane to move it a bit more. Okay, the swap crane. Okay, see if the track crane can do anything with it. I think we can get out of where we are with the track crane. If worse comes to worse, we can put it further in at least. Okay. If we can get it to the boat, then that's job done. Just broke the little boat that was there, but that's okay. I think we may have done it. Unless there's something else on the wall we've not seen yet, that's the only concern. Because there could be something else yet. You see the weight of dragging us over like that. It's done. Mission complete. That was definitely a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. But we got there in the end. Combination of the two cranes worked massively. Put that down. That can probably be recycled at some point, to be fair. But that is the side mission complete. We don't need the crane at the minute, so we'll come back for that. So, now we're going to repair the steel beams. So let's see, the last thing we need to do now... The infrastructure's done. Yeah, the last thing we need to do is attach electricity. So, steel beams facility, nearest electrical point from there, and it's this transformer here we're aiming for, is this power substation over here, via this watery, muddy kind of area. So, we need our cable layer, and we'll have to drive it over there by the looks of things. So, let's track the mission for a start. We've got no other missions to do at the minute, so this is our next port of call. The cable layer, and there is only one type of cable layer in the game, and that's the Vostok TK53 Crot. That's what we need to use. To be fair, this vehicle has never put a foot wrong for us all the way through the base game and the first DLC map. This vehicle has generally been the most reliable vehicle we could use. It's got through water, it's got through mud, sand, everything. It's always been one of those vehicles that you know will get there no matter what. So I'm hoping I've not bigged up too much and they will actually do what we need to do now as well. I think we obviously start at the steel beam facility and then start laying cable towards the substation rather than drive to the substation and come back to ourselves. It makes no sense to do that. We might as well start where the finish point is. It saves us to doing an extra drive. Oh, a bit too much speed down the corner. The only thing this struggles with is any asphalt roads and rocks. But I think we can stay off the rocks and that kind of stuff while avoiding the track. Because if we lay the cable on the track, it's going to be really bumpy for any vehicles that want to use that track. So to avoid that, we can avoid the track as much as possible. It leaves the track usable for other vehicles. Now I'm not sure how this is going to handle the second bridge. As I say, at some point we are going to need to put a proper bridge there, I think. Or even fill it in with sand. That might be a better option. Although the sand's further away, I suppose, but I don't know. If this makes it over okay, then most vehicles will, so maybe I'll just leave it as is, to be fair. Just a little bit awkward. It's actually not too bad. Maybe we can just leave it as is. Unless we get a convoy, then it may have to change. I'm not sure if convoy will make it over. But this will get the steel beam facility up and running fully. We've already got the workers there behind the people carrying it on the road, so they can come back and forth. We've done the infrastructure route. That's delivered materials. It's just power needed now. And we've got a nice new road bit to drive on as well. Okay, we should be able to get past all the vehicles. That convoy did, so we should be fine. Nice new road. Okay, we just need to find the starting point at the facility. I think there's a mud track after we enter the facility on the left hand side, and I think that's our starting point. So I don't think it's this bit here. I think there's one further around. Just double check. No, actually I think it's here actually. Yeah, it is to the left. It wasn't further on then, I was wrong. It's here. So we kind of want to start on this bit here and come across here, down the hill, and just be by the edge of that track, I think is our best option. We'll be able to see where the actual the lay of the land is with the cables once we activate, but I want to be in the right position first. Obviously the small trees we can just knock down, that's not the end of the world. Are we close enough to start here? That's quite a steep slope actually, but more than I thought. Because we wanted to start on this side over here. It's quite a steep slope to start on. Obviously we don't want to fall down. Or slide. Stop there. Are we in the zone? Just about. Probably would have been safer to start there, to be fair. But we're there now. Okay. All good. So we need to head through the forest of trees, being careful not to get the back end caught on anything. And that we don't go for anything that's too rocky, because it will say no. We do. Whilst also making sure we're heading in the right way. So we want to be heading down here. until we get to a bit of a clearing. We should be able to see this track here then, and then go along the side of it and through the water. That's my thinking. So yeah, through this small patch of trees here until we get to a point where we can see an opening. This is why I said this vehicle has never really let us down. It is superb in all conditions. We're going to do it to the big tree there. But there's the gap we're looking for. So that's the track going along there. And we just want to skirt alongside it, really. The only concern is how deep the water is. We want to be off the track as much as we can. That's our only real concern. Okay, it's not liking this bit. I'm trying to stay off the track, and obviously we're going uphill a little bit there. It's worked out okay. So the track underwater here is my only concern. But I think we're okay, because the track's on our left hand side here. That white tree come over. Yeah, pull the tree over. And this isn't as deep as I thought it might be. Although we are going a bit more to the side than I would like. Come on. Ever so slightly left, going left when we can. Try and nurse it through the water. I don't know where the drowning point is. I'm guessing front end. There we go. I think that's I think we're golden. I think that's done it. We just need to obviously watch out this tree stump to the end here. As long as this connects up to the blue area, I just power back to the steel beam facility. That is another mission complete today. We're actually making very good progress on this new map today. Feels like we're actually getting somewhere quite quickly as well. A few issues, but we've managed to solve them. There we go. Power is there. That is mission complete. Okay. What is next? Nothing. Did anything come up? Yes. There's two here, okay? So we've got a side mission here to establish a supply route to support the locals. This is build a road. And this road is there. We did already see this, to be fair. We can now see a bit more area. So we need to build a road here to support the locals. All our road gear is just down here from building the road from there. Saying that, obviously we can go up here, and then all this is off-road. So does that mean, and even through here is not going to be simple with our vehicles. I don't know if it's worth putting a whole road in to get us to here, because that's what it seems like, is we've got to get to here then start building a road both ways. I don't know if it's worth just putting a road in here while we're doing it. At least then that way there'll be no issues with anything else we need to do, potentially. While we assess that, sand-wise, how do we look? So this sand quarry here covers quite a large area, to be fair. And it does cover exactly where the road needs to go. So we're good for sand all the way through, that was the concern. Part of me thinks we just lay a road all the way up, because that way at least other vehicles will make it through absolutely fine. Because I guarantee after we lay this supply route, there will be a convoy or something to establish. Main mission, get the bridge layer and try it out. So let's have a look at what this says. Get the bridge layer and try it out. We've got enough steel to make spare parts, so we've got a little present for you, a bridge layer. Before retrieving it, you need to clear some space in front of the garage for the vehicle to get out. Once you've got it, try it out. Start by returning the backup equipment to the steel mill to make sure it keeps running smoothly. You'll find the equipment near the abandoned mine entrance. The coordinates have been sent. Take the bridge layer for a spin and show us what it can do. So they're going to give us a bridge layer once we clear this area of debris. They're going to give us a bridge layer, and then we need to take it to the abandoned mine entrance, which is, I don't know where at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure where the abandoned mine entrance is currently. I'm guessing it will need a bridge laying, by the sounds of things. And then grab the equipment from that and bring it back to the steel mill. We still haven't unlocked bridges, so the steel mill isn't fully operational. Although it is operational, it says it is. Okay, I think we do the side mission first. It's going to be a long road, but I think it's probably our best option. No, actually, let's clear this area first, and then we'll see where the bridge layer needs to go. I think that's probably a better option. If we clear it first, then we'll know where we're going. We have got a big crane already nearby, so we can send that straight there. So let's do that first and foremost. I'm curious to where the abandoned mineshaft actually is. All through this map so far, we have yet to use the Voron or the Mule, the two vehicles that have been our go-to vehicles for the whole game, because they're a crane and a cargo bed. They've been the most useful everywhere, and yet in this map we're still yet to use them. This is not something that's been helpful so far, which is surprising. But we can head round here and we'll clear the area and then see where this wants us to go. We may do it first, we may do the side mission, which we'll see. It's going to depend on where this is going, I think. But we now own 3 bridge layers anyway, so it's not like we needed a 4th. Okay, I think I need to open these gates. Yeah, so these gates need opening. Is it a push or a pull is the question. Let's try driving into it. If it's a push, we should be able to drive in. No, it's a pull. Okay. It's not quite gone the way we'd hoped there. Let's do a single connection. Pull that open. There we go. Don't close on me the minute I stop pulling it. In fact, let's just drive back. That's as far as it goes. It just closes every time. It's not quite what I wanted to happen. Stop there. I can't open it without it closing. Okay, let's try the other one. Might give me the other gate. Give me the other gate. There we go. I don't know why the other one keeps closing on me. I think what we'll do is just wait until it stops swinging, maybe. They both keep closing. Okay, I think we can get in. Once we're in, we can just reverse out and it will solve the issue, but trying to get them open with a crane obviously isn't the go-to. To be fair, normally use your scout vehicle. But just because this was closer. Right, there we stay! That still doesn't want to stay open. Right, we can get in. Ignore that. No, we can't. Yes, we can. We're in. Okay, so this is everything that he's moving. We're probably better off going right in the middle here. All this stuff on the left that's yellow can be sold. Not that we have got somewhere to sell it currently. It can be sold if we need to. It's where to stick everything. I think maybe what we do, if we pile up these containers over this left hand side, place stuff on top of them, it's probably our best option. So let's start with the containers. We need to change our connection point back to more than one. Give me the container. There we go. So if we move these over this other side, and then we can pile stuff on top if need be. Probably want to be out of the way when we've got the last thing to move out, just so the bridge layer doesn't go on top of us. Because obviously we don't know where it's going to come out fully. It may just appear, and if we're in the way, it could mess things up. Right, there's one there. There's actually quite a lot to move out of here, more than I expected. A lot of this stuff can be sold or recycled as well by the looks of things. Might be able to lift this one with the stuff on it still. As long as it doesn't tip, we may be able to move it all in one go. There we go. Just saves us moving things individually. We can take it all at once. There we go. It's always nice when that works out that way. Okay, well, we've got another 2 containers still, and then other stuff. Okay, another container. I know there's something else there in the way. This may not sit flat, but it'll be okay. Not going anywhere. I actually didn't see those on top of the vehicle, to be fair. I thought they were... The vehicle itself was picking up that. Obviously not. Can I stretch this to the outside bit here? We can. They're just bits of metal again. They can be recycled in due course. And we need to do some more metal. We've got loads of metal laying around everywhere. We've got all the cars we've moved at the dam already. They can all be recycled as well. So if we need steel beams, we can make plenty. There's plenty of stuff to use, it seems. Right, last container. Better off coming this way, I think. Starting to loading. Caught ourselves on our own vehicle. Right, just a side over here. Down we go. As long as we don't need to pick anything up here, we're okay. Right, we can come lower now. Rain's coming down again. So these can be sold if you wanted to. I don't think we've sold much before anywhere on any map, mainly because we've never needed to. Money's never been an issue, to be fair, so we've never really needed to sell anything. We've bought the odd material, iron, the steel beams and stuff when we needed them. Concrete was the big thing we bought on the contamination map, because you couldn't find much concrete to recycle. It's easier just to buy a concrete slab, or as many as we needed for a mission. It was just a lot easier than trying to find concrete, since it was very few and far between. But yeah, so as far as selling stuff, we haven't really sold anything, I don't think. Okay. Hopefully we can get these on top. There's some loose tyres there as well. They're going to be moving according to that. This can go on top of those 2 that are already there. There we go. We don't have to be really neat, but I think it will help us with future issues in terms of picking things up if we are fairly neat here. You're not going to give me the one I want, are you? Let's come lower. There we go, that's the one I wanted. Okay, I think I can get this on top as well. Okay, maybe not. Just not get one off instead. There we go. Wasn't quite what I wanted, but it's there. I was trying to be really neat, and and then we're not now. Okay, tyres. Again, some of them can be sold if you wanted to in the future. Alongside the containers. As I say, we need to keep an eye on when we've got one more thing to move, just so we can actually get out of the area and we don't get smashed into. Right, what have we got? Some loose tyres to there. We've got the big vehicle over here to move as well. Do that now. Again, this can be recycled. And we need metal that can be picked up and recycled, so that's something. Kind of stopped being neat and tidy now, to be fair. Just want to get it done instead. That's not really what I want, is it? Trying to get it out and move, but that's going too high, it's not registering. Okay. Another tyre, let's check it over this side. Okay, what do we have? A couple of tyres over here and metal bin or two. I think it's 2. With tyres as well. So what I think we do at this point, we drive out just so we're out of this area, so when we are done, we don't have an issue being hit. And because those things there, they're not heavy, they don't need moving very far. Things are out of the way and don't catch. Can be just over here. And the metal bins out there, they're more likely to be recycled when we need to. They're the kind of thing that's very quick and easy to pick up. Right, it's just the one that needs moving on both. Both. Just one. So this is the bridge there they're giving us. I don't quite understand why we need a 4th, but there we go. They've decided we need a bridge layer. We need to deliver objects. Okay. Let's have a look what that requires us to do. So we need to get the bridge layer and try it out. So once we've got the space, once we've got that, start by returning the equipment. So we've got to deliver these 3 objects. We've got to go and get them, and they're being delivered to the steel mill up there. So why can't we get to them? There's a track. Oh, okay, I see. It's there to there is the issue. By the looks of it. And because we can't build bridges yet, bridge layers are our only option. So we need to lay the bridge layer from there to here. That's what it wants us to do. And then we can go with a vehicle, probably the mule or the Voron, pick up whatever these things are and take them to the steel mill. The weird thing is, it's acting as if we've never used a mobile bridge before, and we have. We didn't use them until the DLC started, but we used them on Contamination. I don't know if this vehicle's any different to normal. It looks the exact same as the others we have, so it should be a 12-metre bridge. I'm just going to reverse this back so it's out of the way. But we'll lay the bridge where it looks like it needs to go, and then we'll go from there. We may as well carry on with this mission. We'll do the side mission after. We think the side mission is going to be a very big road. Right, we're in their vehicle. So this doesn't tell us where we need to put it, but we can guess by what we need to go and get. What this is intended for. say we have used these a few times. We've used them twice already on this map. I'm not too sure why it wants us to test things out, but there we go. Got to do as it requires. And to be fair, other two are in use, and they're being used in important places, so it saves us going back to contamination to get the other one back up and running again, to be fair. Okay, so from here we want to come down our road until we get to our vehicles here, and then we're looking at this track here, I think. I don't know if this will reach. I think it might be close. 12 metres sounds a lot, but it's not very much at all when you put the bridges down. The gap it covers isn't massive. Okay. So along our new winding road. These are bad for visibility, but keep manoeuvring the camera. Right, there is a dirt track here, which is where we kind of parked the heavy transporter. So we think it's to cover this hole here. But again, I still don't really know if it's going to reach. Okay, I've gone a little bit too far. I want to be this side of the trees. The gap's over there. Lack of visibility is the problem more than anything else here. Driving it from inside doesn't help. It's the other side of these trees. So it's this gap here. There's no way that reaches. There is no way that reaches. Surely. Oh, and in fact, I know I'm wrong. We were on the right path. I think it is this gap here. There's no point covering this gap. We didn't need to go backwards. I looked at this wrong, too zoomed out. It's here. I was right originally. I doubted it, and without checking properly first. Second time today, we've kind of done something and then realised actually we had it right the first time. I didn't think it was never going to reach over there and up. But the end of this track is where the bridge has gone. So now we head to our left and we'll see the gap. There we go, there's the gap we're trying to cover. Oh, okay, it's even give us tutorials. We've already... Okay, I don't quite understand why we're getting a tutorial now when we use these in the first DLC map, but there we go. Let the bridge controls, hold down L1, use the assign inputs, attach the bridge, fully extend. If you want to pick the bridge up, back up, move close to it with the arm extended, the platform will appear. Maybe we weren't meant to use these in the first DLC, but then why unlock them for that? That's the thing. I think we even used them on the base game, the final map, at one point. We have got an anchor we can put down as well. I generally find the anchors more hassle than it's worth, to be fair. Right, we're on safely on that end. What I might do is reverse a little bit here. There we go. I think that's in a good enough position. Right, bridge is in place. So I said we hadn't used the Mule of the Vaughn yet. Obviously we've got to pick stuff up here. We don't know really how big this stuff is until up there. So I'm guessing Mule. We'll use the Mule, I think. Obviously it's got a crane and a thingy combo, so it works well for us. So we'll go for the new Mule, the kit version. So Trailblazer, Mule T1 Trailblazer. And this will head round now. We'll pick up If we can get 3 loads in one, we'll do so. If we're doing 2 loads, we'll do in 2 loads. We'll see. But we've got some bridge hopping to do, and then we'll go and pick this stuff up and see how we can fit it all in one go. If we can, that is. I do really like this version of the mule, to be fair. The original mule was always really good. And then the Voron came along, and the Voron kind of is better than it by 1 stat instability. But then this come out and it's the exact same as the Voron in all the stats. So I do prefer this one, to be fair. There's me getting a bit carried away where I'm going. Where am I going? Oh yeah, round to the other bridge. But I've gone past the turning then, but no, it's the other bridge we can go across here. There's 3 bridges in total we're about to use. And 3 reusable bridges, in fact. This is probably the worst one out of all of them, to be fair. Sorry. Eyes are getting, I just went drowsy and just lost track. Over the bridge, yeah. Completely just lost the plot then, didn't actually know what I was doing. Don't normally get drowsy yet, it's normally this afternoon. Right, up we go. So we take a right turn here and then follow this round to the left and we go across a new bridge. And then we see what these are like to pick up. Right, what are we picking up here? There's 2 down the bottom. We'll grab the bottom ones first, I think. On there and 1 on the back end. What are these is the question. How big are they? It's not too bad a size, to be fair. Whether we can get all 3 in one load, I don't know. That's the only thing. We'll try and see if we can. Just save going back really more than anything else. Obviously there's no point risking anything we don't have to. What's the other one like over there? Fairly big, I think, isn't it? Yeah, I think let's try putting it down over the side like that. As I say, we're going to be using a normal road all the way bar the bridge. So, in that regard, putting it this way is fine. We haven't really got any trees to navigate. And it will strap down. Right, let's reverse over to this one over here. That's the only issue, is being very top heavy. If we take it easy, we should be okay. This is, it's even bigger. Yeah, we're not doing it. I don't know, is it worth the risk of trying to do them all in one go? Potentially. What's the worst that can happen? We'll have to call something else out of help. I don't know if I'll actually get this one behind the other one. Because of the way the crane is. Can we get this up and over? We are moving the other one. Yeah, I'm not going to get up and over, mate. Okay. What I should have done is put the other one further on. I'm not going to push the other one, am I? Right, I think what we need to do, I think we need to change our plan. I think we could get all three on, but I think it's going to be a nightmare. I think we're better off, without messing around, putting two of these on and come back for the third. If we put this in the bed properly, put the other one on top of it, and then we'll come back for the third as a separate. Otherwise, we're just opening ourselves up to have issues, and we don't actually need to. Come on. I want this flat in the bed if we can, because that's what we want to put the other one on top of. There we go. Right, I'm thinking that one on top. We are going to be very top heavy, but it's better than what we were going to do a minute ago. It's going to be more flat on the back than side heavy. And even this is a little bit of a risk because how top heavy we're about to be. Also, we don't know if it'll strap, it might be too high. We'll know in a second. As I say, maybe we need to do 3 journeys. All we're trying to do is avoid having 3 journeys if we can. Okay, will it strap? It will. How will it drive is the question. Obviously we haven't got a bridge to go over as well. It's very top heavy, you can feel it. I think it's doable. The only awkward part is the bridge itself, to be fair. But we'll have to come back for the final bit. There's no point in trying to get that on top as well, it won't happen. Then the only awkward bit is here. As long as we make this okay without too much bumping, it should be doable. But it is, again, this is a bit of a risk. We could have just done 3 journeys if we wanted to. So far so good. We have achieved quite a bit today on this new map already. I'm also hoping that once we get this to the steel beam facility and it's fully up and running, we can always, if we wanted to, replace our bridges that we put temporary on with proper metal bridges, just so then we don't have to worry about the bridge layers anymore. And obviously we know we've got lots of metal to recycle, so that's not going to be an issue. Well, obviously we'll follow the convoy up, but we do need to go back for that one last load then. That's the only thing. So although all the rewards for the convoy are done, it no longer shows on the infrastructure. The convoys will keep going until they fail. They will just keep going. It's kind of like the world being alive more because you've done certain things. Okay, do I need... Will it take them off me automatically, or do I need to unload? No, it takes them automatically. Perfect. Even better. Okay, so we drive back to where we just were, pick up the final load, and then that is mission complete, and we'll see what he wants to do next. We have got a side mission to do, which is going to be a road, although we're probably going to make it even bigger than it says we want it to be. Just so other vehicles will use it without any issues, in case we do need to do any convoys. I think it's always better to have bigger roads where needed. I've gone the wrong way here, haven't I? Yeah. Thought I had. Can't blame that on the drowsiness, that was just me going the complete wrong way. I followed the road round and I wasn't meant to do that. Okay, we need to keep an eye out for the convoy coming this way, because it won't stop, it will just hit us. I don't think our road is wide enough for 2. See if we can get through the road before the convoy gets back here to avoid any issues. think we're going to be okay actually. Yeah, we're good. Right, back over the bridge. We grab the last load and that's all 3 of them delivered. And hopefully then the Steel Beam City is up and running. Every mission so far for the Steel Beam City, it said this will get it up and running. But yeah, it hasn't. It's always been something else to do. Hopefully this is the last thing. Okay, it's this little box to the side. Probably could have got it on top of the others to be fair, but it wasn't worth the risk, I don't think. Should change camera reasons, see what I'm doing. Spin it round. Drop it down. There we go. Strap the cargo. Anchors, crane. Let's go. Nice and simple. Let's get it back across. And that should be another mission complete. As I say, we've made really good progress today so far. And what we've got left? We've got about half an hour just over left. There is more we can still get done. That road is going to take time, especially if we're extending it as well, just to make the ground a bit better nearby. It will take quite a bit of time, I think, to get done. But for the minute, we don't need to worry about that. We just need to get this delivered. That's another mission complete. At least we haven't got to deal with the actual containers with acid and stuff inside that plagued us in the first DLC map. Mission complete. The bridge layer is now ours and is out and about. I don't quite understand why it gave us to chew on the bridge layer this late in, but it did. There's a couple of new objectives by the looks of things. Have a look. Let everything catch up first. Still going. There we go. So we have a new side objective. We knew that one already. Find the private safe and return it to its owner. So somewhere around there is a safe. A private individual has contacted us with a sensitive request. During the flooding and evacuation, he lost a safe containing highly confidential information. He's willing to invest generously in our project so we can recover it. Search the southwest area near the New Street Tunnel. If you find it, return it discreetly. The job is strictly under the radar. So a safe is washed away over here somewhere. And we need to retrieve it and bring it back to this house here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to rush to that mission anytime soon. But there we go. Main missions: repair the Riverline oil well. To restart oil production, we need to repair every well in the region. Start with the ravine. Is it the riverine? Riverine? I don't know how we say that. Oil well located northwest of the Highland base. Transport electric motors and a truck load of fuel to the site, and a crew will handle the rest. So there's an object to pick up and deliver there. In fact, it's 2 of those. And they're going there. And then we've got a vehicle to drive from here to there. Why does the vehicle look so simple? Has it got... Oh, okay. Because you can't get through that way. It looks so simple to get that vehicle there, but actually it needs to come back across here and then round, I think. Yeah. It looked like you could just get straight across. But I don't think you can. Saying that, it's a bit of a risk, but you probably could, to be fair. Instead we'll be going this way. Okay, so that's one mission, and then the other one: explore the marshlands. Some time has passed since the flooding, and we hope the water levels have receded. However, as always in our line of work, we're prepared for the worst. Your job is to explore the marshlands and assess the situation. So there's one area to explore there, which is just near this is the dam there, so just north of the dam, and the other one is over here, which is by the oil wells. To be honest, we may as well drop off the materials here and then use the same vehicle, which is probably the Mule or the Voron, and then go up there, because they can handle really tough terrain. That's probably the best idea to reach that location using them, to be fair. And I'm wondering here, you know the vehicle we have to drive from here? I wonder if it's better off, depending on how it drives, whether it's worth trying to get to there using the vehicle they're giving us. Might be something to try. I think we should do the next side mission that we had first, though, and that's this one here. This wants us to build a road. We need to establish a road from up here up here, sorry, all the way to the village here. Now my thinking was, let's notice there's a bridge there. My thinking was, what we do is, as the road to get there isn't fantastic, it's this route here through the trees, we lay a road all the way to here, including this little bit here, and then we join our road this way to these, and that way we've then got a full road that can be used for other vehicles as well, so I guarantee we'll need to come here more often. There's no other way of getting to this north area than this track here. So if we make that a proper road, it makes our life and any convoys a lot easier to actually manage. So I think that's probably our best bet, and that includes getting stuff delivered to here via this other mission. So I think that's what we're going to do. It is going to be quite a long road, especially before we even start the final road, which is up here. But I think it's doable, and the sand quarry reaches all the way, so I think that's probably our best bet. So we have our dumper here. It's not the biggest dumper we own, so we'll need to refit it more often, but it is better on tough terrain. We've about half an hour left, so we'll see how much we can get done of this. But if we have any convoys, this will make their life a lot easier too. That's the thing. So we're going to follow this track all the way up past the sand quarry, over this area here. We might have to fill in a hole here as well, we're at it, until we get to the road point here, and then we'll probably go to one end. I may even set the AI off to do that bit up there, and then we'll join the whole lot. That's the thinking. This may, like I say, may take a little bit of time. I do think it's our best bet to make our life easier long term. And that's always a thing, when you're first new to a map, the infrastructure of the map itself is always good to get up and running early, because then it makes our life so much easier as we go forward. The only issue is knowing if we're putting enough sand down. But as long as we take it easy, it should be okay. This just may take a while. Keep trying to keep an eye on where we're heading as well. I want to try and lay a bit less as well, so we don't have to keep refilling as often. Can't even move forward. What's going on there? So we're slowly enough that it comes out, and we can see when we need to go a little bit higher. Turning in a minute. I know this isn't the best vehicle for this, but we don't know what the terrain's going to be like as we go through here, so actually having this is probably our best option just in case the terrain gets tricky. I think the biggest obstacle is more my ability to put the sand down evenly is more of an issue. and seeing the route we're meant to be following as well. And obviously we are refilling more often because there's smaller amount this can carry. I don't think it's by much, but it is probably noticeable as we go along. But to be fair, I've done a decent amount. We're heading up here past the sand quarry. Because if we have any convoys going this route before doing this, slowly over time it will degrade and we will end up starting getting stuck, and this will be required anyway. Trying to get back. Okay, it should be right as is. Putting sand down is definitely not my forte, it seems. Why does that open fully when I didn't tell it to? There we go. Has a habit of doing that. You tell it to open up a little bit and you let go of the button to make it go up, and it fully opens when it shouldn't do. Should be a bit at a time. Right, we're going over here and just keep as straight as we can, really. Okay, so we go along the sand quarry to the left hand side of it here. It's tricky to be able to see how much you're laying down, but also where you're going at the same time. I'm looking forward to handing off this duty to the AI shortly. I didn't press with that. Okay. I'm a bit of a mind of its own at times. It's okay, it's not fantastic, but there's sand there. The actual terrain here so far hasn't been too bad. But I think it's about to get tougher. So we'll head for the trees essentially. Straight ahead of us. Trying to see how much we're putting down as well as where we're going. That's the hard part. Right, through the trees. And then we're going to hit the rocky stages where it could get a bit tricky. This is all just laying the groundwork for later on more than anything else. The visibility, that's the problem. Okay. We're getting there. It's going to take time. This isn't going to be quick and easy at all. It's going to take a little bit of time to get this right. Let's say, just laying the groundwork for later on. I've got a feeling once you build the road, it's going to want a convoy anyway. Would be my thinking. It does mean inclines like this, any vehicle should be able to manage them without any issue as well if there's an asphalt road there. Okay, this is where we're going to get a bit dodgy, is where the rocks and stuff are, and that water bit there, which is one of the reasons we were doing this. Because I thought we were going to use this route a little bit more than we realise at the minute. That bit's going to be quite important. We're going downhill, so I'm just trying to make sure we don't go too quick. Okay. Okay, I need to come more to the left. Yeah, putting sand down the road here I think will help us massively long term. Kind of like blocked in here, aren't we? So I keep waiting for the refill every time. Plenty of sand in this bit so we don't have an issue with the water. So we're heading up here past the rocks. We've got the little bit of here we need to fill in, and then we're nearly there, and then we'll set the road to do its own thing. We'll probably get the sand to roughly here, then we'll get it to do its own thing, and it should be able to join. Hopefully, anyway. That's the aim. So that'll be that water bit now covered. There's a few loose rocks there, but hopefully there won't be an issue. The grader should be able to deal with those, hopefully. Just feels like we're not laying much down each time and then refilling quite a lot. But I do think it's because of how much this can carry. Whereas the other one can carry more, but it may not be able to handle the terrain. That's the thing. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit here. Too much too quick. I don't know if we're better off just fully opening it each time rather than not. I don't know. It is fully opening on its own sometimes. Should be alright. Once we grade that out, that should be absolutely fine. The tricky bit is coming up. Don't really know what we're going to face there, to be fair. Okay, another load done. Trying to move a little bit more to the right, but having issues moving. Now put two, yeah. Better. Kind of missed a little bit there, but we solved it. Okay. Up this next bit, and as I say, this looked like it was a bit awkward to navigate, but actually it doesn't look too bad. Now we're here. But we're nearly at the point where we can set the AI to do the other bit, and we can grade this while the AI is doing its thing. We're doing time. We're okay for time. So I'd like to get this done today, we can. Yeah, that should grade out quite nicely, to be fair. Probably could do a bit straighter here. Whoa. Don't know why the camera's suddenly zoomed out, but it does make our life a little bit easier. Yeah, this mud was of course a problem with a lot of vehicles. So, first down any map is generally infrastructure. Right, we're going up and over, and then we are nearly there. Don't take us too long, to be fair. I say the AI then can do its thing while we're grading this out. Can't open anymore. So once we're over this ridge, we should be able to see where we're heading towards, and then we can go and drive this to where the AI can start doing the other bit. Keep checking the map just to make sure it looks like we've laid enough down, because it's always, I find it really tricky to know when we've done enough. Right, can we see where the road is? Yeah, there's the road there that we need to build. Let's say we'll get to a point and then we'll just let the AI take over doing the main bit of the road. Or we can bring the grader up. Okay, we are still in Quarry Race, so it just came up and said We might not be, but we are. We're plenty in the quarry radius. Okay, I'm just going to go to this water bit here, and then we'll let the AI do its thing. We'll drive this to a position where the AI to start. So that should be fine there. Okay, we need to go to the start point, which I think we've got better off going this side. And then we'll instruct the AI to do the road layout that's there. The bit we've done is extra. Ah, there's a rock here. The problem with rocks, the AI won't move them. It'll just try and go over them. I can manoeuvre it out the way. It's weird just trying to go over it as well, to be fair. I was trying to move it with the track, but I think I'm making it worse trying to do that. I need to get to the side of it, that's the problem. And because the sides are slightly up, it doesn't like it. Hasn't really gone to plan. I was trying to. The problem is, it's quite. There's a bit of a gap, a bit of a elevation to each side. So trying to manoeuvre this out of that is tricky. Short of bringing the grader all the way here to move it. I don't think I can move it. I don't know. The AI will probably try and drive over it. To be fair, we'll see what the AI does. It may be something we need to come and move, but it may be alright. I don't really know. Well, we've got about 10 minutes left of today's stream, so we'll see if we can get this road finished in that time. I think we'll get quite close. But yeah, the vehicle's now here. The AI can now do its thing. As I say, we may have to do something to do with that bit. Vehicle. Select route. Job done. Right, so that is now laying the sand. So our grader, we'll now use that to grade everything we've done so far, which is here. And hopefully by the time we get to where that is, we should be ready to grade the sand that the AI has put down as well. That's the plan anyway. Hopefully it works, so we hope. And that's the slow bit done, really, to be fair, because that's always the slowest part, because you have to get stop, start, stop, start. The rest of it now shouldn't be too bad. So we've got 10 minutes left to see if we can get this done today. We could have made the sand wider here, to be fair, so we could actually manoeuvre onto it a little bit easier. That might be something we add to it later on, maybe. I don't think we're going to need to go more than once over the sand either here. I think we'll be fine in one pass. Vehicle got stuck during road construction. That was my concern. It got stuck during road construction. I bet it's on that rock. Yeah, it's on that rock. Now the problem is, if I cancel this, it's going to make our life a nightmare, because it will restart it elsewhere. It'll restart it back over here. It's not going to be able to get over that, is it? And I can't take over without cancelling the route. That's annoying. The only thing that may help, I'm not going to get a vehicle up there quick enough, is to move the rock, but I've got no vehicle nearby. I will get there quick enough to do so. I'm going to have to cancel it and then do it, and then bring it back. Cancel road. That's when it moves. So this is why I didn't want it back here, but it is. Because obviously we now can't drive over the bit it's already done. But we need to find a way of moving that rock. It may be we have to wait for the grader to come up and move it that way, potentially. We'll have one little go at moving the rock. If we can't, we'll have to wait for the grader. We won't have much choice. The problem is, obviously, there's a little bit of an incline on the edges, which means actually moving the rock anywhere is problematic. Although that's done a decent job there. We can swing round back onto it and may be able to sort this out. Keep turning. It won't turn any more than that. Okay, stay there, stay there, stay there. I think we've done it. The only issue, we don't know if there's any more rocks on the route, to be fair, but that is done. If we select route now, this is working vehicles. Is this one? It may be because it's not in a start point. I don't know. Do I need to be in a different vehicle? I don't. It's not letting us actually reactivate it. Let's have a look. Infrastructure. I think it might be because it's not in the start point. Problem is, I don't want it in this. We'll have to start from the other side. Right, we've got to drive it to the other side and then restart the route there. It won't reactivate it from where it was. We haven't even looked if we need to extend this further either, actually. Thinking about it. Oh no, it's connecting to normal roads, so we don't need to extend this. Right, now we do it. Now we do it. And we put it onto there. There's a new side objective. We're coming here, we've just activated a new side objective as well. We'll have a look in a second. Select route, job done. That should be doing it now. Okay, so the new side objective just appeared. Retrieve the stuck oil truck. There's an oil truck stuck over here. We need to retrieve it and bring it back to all the way over there that we don't know about. Okay. I don't know if it means we can drive it once it's up and running. I'm not sure. But that's a different mission for a different day. Right, we're going to continue. We've got about 5 minutes. We'll continue grading this. See how far we get. Now we've solved that issue. I've always praised the AI in this of how good it is, and it is really good, but there are little situations where it just can't solve it itself. And we've had to jump in and do it. The only concern with this big road will be if we need any cables laying for power, because that could be a problem. This hopefully will give us a lot more, make it our life a lot easier going forward. Okay, it looks like there's no more rocks on the route. I think it's doing okay. By the sounds of it, it's not failed yet. I don't know what it will do once it gets that other bit of sand that's already laid. I don't know how it's going to cope with that. It might be okay, or it might have an issue. This was the water bit that we've already filled in. At least this makes this bit more drivable now with no water there. The only concern is them little rocks there. When we come and do the asphalt, them rocks potentially could be a problem. I don't think we're going to be able to move them with this though either. We're nearly up to where the other one is. So I think, obviously making roads takes time, but it's so much easier like long term, that's the thing. And you don't have to do any of this, you only have to do the ones that it tells you to do. But we have found throughout the whole game's base game and the first DLC map, making extras sometimes makes a big difference. Thanks for the like, it was much appreciated. Right, we are rapidly running out of time. How's the AI doing? Its AI is finished. So you can see where it's joined up to itself over there. So we just need to join this road now. What we'll do, we'll go left. Firstly here. Might want to do another join in that middle bit, we'll see in a second. But we now need to just grade this one. We'll come back on ourselves to grade the other bit. We're not going to have time to finish this today, I don't think. But we'll be prepared, ready for our next stream of RoadCraft, which will be Tuesday next week, I believe. I just need to double check. I know there's an appointment next week with the trust that I need to have. I need to check time and stuff like that. Right, let's turn this round. Then we'll finish today with getting this sand finished and graded, and then we'll have to I think we'll have to call it the end there. Just finish off the grading though from the other side as well. But yeah, the AI has done its thing. That sand is all laid. Don't know if we need to put a bit more sand down for this connection here so we can go both ways, potentially. Otherwise this is a tight turn to the right, isn't it? Well, to the left, which is coming the other way. It'll make it a little bit wider here. Yeah, that should be okay. Gives you a bit more of a turning circuit if needed. We'll just follow this round and then we'll have to end for today by the looks of things. I said at the start of the stream, I'll say it again, a massive thank you to everybody who's watched the channel anniversary videos, very much appreciated. I try to keep it more channel orientated more than personal focus. We all know the injuries and stuff we're dealing with, it's just, we don't need to talk about it all the time. And I think some of the numbers even surprised me. You know, I know we've had issues this year with episode content and me falling asleep, and earlier on today, even nearly falling asleep in the stream wasn't fun. That drowsiness hits when it hits. There's not much I can do about it when it does. It's just trying to shake yourself out of it each time. But that's been the reason we've failed to do as many episodic videos we had last year. 300 difference is mad. I didn't think it was that much of a problem until you see the numbers and think, actually, that's a big difference. That's the thing, but we can't change it. There's nothing we can do about it at the minute. We're just trying everything we can to stop it happening. And then that is the road graded and ready to go. So all we need to do is asphalt the road, and not just the road itself, but also the extra bit we've done ourselves, which is through here to connect all this area together so it's easier for us to navigate. We need to asphalt all of that, plus the bit the mission wants us to do, and then we need to roll it, and that will be job done as well. But we are out of time for today, unfortunately. We've done quite a few of the objectives already. We've got some new ones appeared as well. We're getting there, and a brand new map as well. It feels like we've made some really good progress today. We'll have a look at how many we've exactly done as we head back to the hub. But this is Washout, and yeah, pretty good map. Obviously, the start, having to put temporary bridges in was a bit weird, and having the tutorial for the bridge lads, even though we've used them in the first DLC. Seems a bit weird. You'd think they'd actually do that tutorial in the first DLC map, but for some reason they chose this one. But here we are, 13% complete, 3 of 24 infrastructure, 5 of 32 main objectives, and 1 of 11 side objectives. This one does look maybe less missions to do, potentially. Maybe more infrastructure, though, looking at it, to be fair. And we've kind of opened up the right-hand side of the map, none on the left yet. Which is a weird way of doing the map, to be fair. That's just how it's happened. But unfortunately, that is us out of time for today. That is us done. We are back tomorrow morning with more Ghost of Yotai. RoadCraft will be back next week as we continue on the final DLC map, Washout. But a massive thanks to you guys. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. It's going to take me a bit of time, I think, to get used to the new YouTube viewpoint when it comes to streams. Using the live control room, it's very different to what it was before. But I can't. I'll just get used to it, basically, haven't I? There's nothing else I can do other than just try and get used to it. But thank you to you guys. Thank you for the likes, comments, views, conversation. Enjoy the rest of the day. If we don't see you for Ghost of Yotai tomorrow, enjoy your weekend as well. And we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.